Holy monkeys, we are live. Apparently Sudafed does dick all when it comes to,
It does.
cleaning
It's
out poor Renningham sinuses. Hello,
just
everybody.
congestion.
I know.
Sorry. I'll let you do this
No, no, no.
intro.
It's okay. You can talk about your congestion, and then we can welcome everybody to the fact that it's been a month since we last played. I'm sorry, okay? There's work life, there's life, there's coordination with players, and then there's illness. I mean, you guys knew I had no voice for like a week and a half. Um, It started on a Tuesday and ended on the following Thursday. Like it wasn't a conducive to being able to do the Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. And then apparently, Stuart here is just dying in the sinuses and all that. And so
Slowly but surely. We're all dying, man. The inescapable march of time.
I
uh,
hear that 100% of people that drink water and breathe oxygen die.
well,
That's why
that is one of the things that kills you is the oxidation of your cells, the degradation of your DNA due to oxygen.
That's why antioxidants are so important.
Yeah.
Like wine.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
And it's also has alcohol in it, which kills bacteria and viruses.
Yeah.
So it just
Yeah. I decided to cut back on drinking because of my liver, and then I got sick. So coincidence?
direct correlation. Direct
Not.
correlation.
I think not.
I think there's some causation going on there. Sure, yes. That's how it works, right?
No,
I'm sorry. That is
Causation?
called science. That is data collection.
It was a double-blind study.
Okay.
I
Had a
closed my
blindfold on
eyes.
each eye.
I closed my eyes for a little bit of it. Oh, it was.
Well, your wife was joining you, so her eyes were closed too. That's the double blind.
That's how I got her to marry me.
Gotcha.
Just close your eyes, honey. It'll be fine.
Yeah. See, when you laugh, you close your eyes. That's why I'm so funny all the time. Is that way she keeps her eyes closed a lot of the time. She doesn't realize
What she's gotten into.
what she's legally obligated to do now is be my wife.
That's how it works. It's a legally binding contract.
It is. You know what? We both signed, so she
Did
was
you read
under
the
no
terms and conditions first.
We have them hanging above our bed.
About that return policy, it expired.
I threw the receipt away. I burned it. I knew I wouldn't need it. I'm keeping her forever because I love her. Because I love her. Like I'm not. It's not like she's.
It's not like you're legally committed. You actually love her.
Yeah. We could tear up
It
the
helps.
contract. It'd be fine. I'll stick with
Romance
it.
in a relationship? What nonsense is this?
I know. In this economy, my gosh.
Genuine affection and communication?
But really
Oh,
about the
sure.
economy, though. Jeez.
Yeah. No communication going on there. There's
Just-
no love and affection. It's
Just dating in this economy is nuts.
Oh,
Dating period is insane.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, but
Like, you know those intrusive thoughts that you get? A lot of my intrusive thoughts are around Emily like leaving me or dying, and I get physically anxious about thinking about dating again. Like I'm just like I don't want to do that. That's crazy. Y'all crazy out there. I don't know. Put this back on the market? Are you kidding me? This is not. I can't just put a new coat of paint and ask for a lease. Like I gotta. There's some intense renovations.
Everybody loves a good deal. Just put 10% off on there and you're
I
rocking.
can't.
10%
I don't.
off.
I price marked down. No, I can't. I don't know.
closing sale, everything must go.
I can't do like a buy one. It's a buy one get two because I got kids. You know, you
That's
can't.
true.
That is
that's
true.
Man, those are
That
some
is
heavy
true.
bags.
Well, hey,
Oh goodness.
On that cheery note,
you're fine. Your wife's fine.
I know. No,
Uh,
everything's Gucci. We're having
Life
the best
there's
life. We're living the best life.
Anything
Life.
going on in y'all's lives that you want to share with the world at large who's listening, watching, always watching?
This will be. I was about to say this is on the internet, dude. This will be
This is forever.
persistent.
It's on the
I
internet.
know.
I know if you
Yeah,
die
we-
in
we
Canada,
want-
you die for real. What happens if you die on the internet?
Well, you saw that VR headset that's gonna kill you for real.
Yes, someone is making Sword Art Online for reals.
What's the...
It's
Oh,
like
we
they've
lost
never
him. He's
seen an
dying.
anime before.
No, it's fine. I'm coughing stuff up. It's great.
Well, in the article, he straight up says that he was inspired by Sword Art Online. I'm like, that's not the inspiration you should have gone for. Kayaba Akihiko, the literal insane mass murderer.
Nerve. Okay. So the
Did
thing
not.
SAO is called Nerve Gear. I didn't. I still need to watch
Yeah.
Nerve Gear. I've been watching Fire Force.
Oh, Fire Force is good.
It's pretty good. I'm really enjoying it. They
I
switched
you-
kept adding
they
things to my
switched the
list.
intro. Oh gosh, you can't do that. That's a never-ending list. That's like a Steam games
plan.
library. It's just
That's
you
the
can't
plan.
pick
It
stuff
means
up
that I
on
have to keep
sale.
watching
Yeah, that's true.
in my ample amount of free time that I have.
I feel that
But yeah,
in a real sense.
Stuart, you got to watch some SAO. You got to do
I
it.
know.
It's
I
so
think
it's
that'll be the
so
next one.
bad it circles around to being good again. Like, just
Mm,
don't think too. Well, I say bad. Just don't think too hard about it. Just let it
Okay.
go at face value,
okay.
and then it's a lot of fun. If you start thinking too hard about it, go ahead and watch the abridged version of it,
Yes.
and that helps.
That is
Oh,
hilarious.
Oh
There's a
my God.
Oh man. How many episodes are in SAO?
there's 4 seasons,
Okay.
so 20-something episodes each season. It's a lot. SAO's long.
Okay. How long are the
And
seasons?
there's, like I said, like 20-something episodes.
Or sorry, how long are the episodes?
Half an hour.
Oh.
So basically, the equivalent of part 3 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Got it.
You need to watch that one as well.
Dun, dun, da, 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 ba, ba. Oh gosh, yeah, JoJo.
Oh, I've heard that song. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the TikTok.
Yeah, no, it definitely was memeified. So yeah, that's a thing.
Hmm.
Anyone else got anything fun in particular before we go into the
Into the
D&D
dungeons
recap?
to face the
Okay,
dragons.
we got a shrug, we got a head shake, and we got a Sniffly Stewart. That's your new nickname, Sniffly Stewart. Sniffles
Oh,
McGee.
man.
Aw.
Actually, this is really fitting because Rittingham, when we last left off, Rittingham was still quite damp from his excursion into the water before people were trekking around deep in the underground, and it's not really warmed up a whole hell of a lot.
I've ruined my pants. The pockets are now just filled with sewage. This is never gonna wash out.
And then
It's
there was a fight between the party and a group of gray oozes that
Yeah, we didn't do so well.
were hiding along the ceiling, a ripply, goopy form, nice, thin, spread out, and they drop down. And
So it's coming out of my sinuses.
we nearly lost some people. Jim was knocked unconscious.
Or in game, for those of you keeping score, Bob.
Yes, sorry. Bob was knocked
Well,
unconscious.
no, it's only for a certain select group. I mean, you got to mark it to your target.
Was it Penn or was it Theo who was knocked unconscious as well?
Theo was knocked
Theo.
unconscious
It was
too.
Theo.
Penn went up on the other side of the oozes and was highly
That's right.
contemplating running away, but decided to stick around because, you know, how else was he going to leave afterwards?
And
Theo tried to
Rittingham
drag
with...
Bob out of trouble and wound up going down.
That is right. Yeah, going into
He
do
didn't really have any options.
some life saving that did not go as smoothly as planned. And then Rittingham burning through what few spells he had left, doing the best he can to
Just working hard.
really, it was a hope and a prayer that you were going to be able to pull
It
off.
was literally like a Hail Mary right at the very
Oh,
end of the
man.
combat.
Yep.
I wish I was there.
Sorry to say you lost a dagger, of course, too.
It's not lost; it's just damaged.
It's just in. It's just
Yeah.
in.
So
Very bad shape.
in your inventory there is a dagger that has been renamed.
Ooze damage dagger. I got
Yep.
you.
Yeah.
So it has a -1 on its attack and damage, I believe.
Ooh, so now that's just a toy. That's just I'm gonna throw this at the
And
next thing I
whatever.
see.
Yeah.
Clink.
The other part with the 2 players being
have
knocked
soap.
unconscious is that Theo, after a couple rounds, was able to snap to. Bob was damn close to
He
not
was standing
waking up
right on
that
the
time.
edge of life and
Yeah.
death. Very nearly crossed over.
When did I get 75 gold?
Yes, you stole it. That's right. You and Penn stole from a
that's
storeroom.
right.
We're the sticky
And-
candidates.
Stole a child's medicine.
They don't need it.
Well,
They probably have insurance.
That's right. That's when the party turned evil. I forgot about that.
We stole
Not
children's
all the
medicine.
party.
just chaotic. It's not truly evil. You're just chaotic.
But we're borrowing the medicine. We didn't steal
I
it. We're
would
borrowing
disagree
it.
with that. If you're taking medicine out of a child's mouth, I think that qualifies as evil.
It was not in the child's
It
mouth.
wasn't in their
For the
mouth.
record, it was on
Probably.
a shelf.
Oh, how do we even know it was a child? Maybe he was just holding it for one of his friends.
Because his father told us that we'd taken his son's medicine.
Dad's lie. Look at my mental health.
He's just covering his ass for the police report.
Theo tried to offer him some gold, but he refused to accept
I
it.
mean, I
Theo
have
felt bad about that, but-
75 gold. I could have just flipped a coin and said, I'll cover it.
Dad would have refused it.
What
Theo
kind of
tried.
medicine? What sickness did the child have? Was it viral? Bacterial?
I believe
'cause-
Bob was the one who ran some tests. He did some observations and determined that it was, nothing extreme. It's not like the kid had like childhood cancer or anything like that.
It was
It
something
but
that could be easily treated if you had access to the medicine.
Nothing chronic. I mean, in medicine, there's probably plenty of homeopathic methods. That kid just probably said, hey, what, we're in a dungeon. We're in like a like a underground. He just needs to get outside, get some vitamin D, fresh air, kid. Touch grass. That's
Well,
his real problem.
except that
That's
in
his real
this
problem.
circumstance,
Spending too much time on the Fortnites and the TikToks, and he's got some kind of sickness that he needs medicine for. What is it, G Fuel? Is that what we stole from this kid? Come on.
no, this kid is effectively trapped in a dock in a box, and he actually needs to go to a level 1 trauma center.
A
And
dock
we
in a
took
box?
away his ability to get to that level 1 trauma center.
What's a dock in a box?
It's like a urgent care center.
Oh. Is that a colloquialism? I've never heard it called a dock in a box.
Yeah, it's colloquial.
Fun.
Yeah.
I'm
Poor
gonna start
kiddo
using
had
it. Thanks for
fever,
that.
no cough. He was very
Oh,
quiet.
dock
He
like
was
doctor. Freaking
Yes.
idiot. I was thinking like a dock like where you moor ships. I'm like, what? Why is that in a box? Why would you put a dock? Is it like an underground lake?
yes. So the child who is being currently taken care of deep underground beneath the space between a landlocked city
Yeah.
and a deep underground mine. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They need to be
Aquifers.
taken to the shipping docks hundreds of
man.
miles away.
Could have been a dried up aquifer.
I'm sorry. Please take those phrases one more time and think about them
dried-
before you.
It could have been droughts, man. Water is tough to come by underground. Let's go. Keep going.
So yes, that is where we last left off in Naturally One. You all got a long rest.
Oh heck yeah, dude. Let's go. Let's flip and go.
You made up a small camp in the cold but otherwise quiet space. The tunnel continues to emit its pale white-blue light. You don't see or hear anything that indicates any more creatures of particular note moving along, other than the occasional scuttling of those tiny grayish lizards that had kind of gone up along the ceiling as you guys had originally approached, and were the first cues that something was amiss on the ceiling as they were getting quickly grabbed, snatched up by the ooze.
So we've lost Chloricent by now. How did we
Oh,
get
yeah,
from
yeah.
how did we get from the room with the explosives to people living down there?
So, okay, so beyond the door where the explosives were, where you had last left off, the following session, last session, you didn't have to go far down the hallway before you saw an archway with dim light kind of glowing through.
Okay.
Going in there, you check and see this is some sort of storeroom that's been converted into a living space.
Gotcha.
There were boxes and barrels and things kind of all strewn about, and a set of several bedrolls. Doing some investigation, that's where you found some gold, you found some medicine,
Good.
a couple other just minor odds and end trinket-y type things. And then as you continued onward was where you found a man in, slightly above average garb. He was a slightly portly fellow, with a very old, damaged-looking sword drawn. And he was just trying to figure out what you guys were doing down there.
Fair.
Eventually revealing that his wife and children were with him,
Huh.
and
And he
inferring
was the
from some
one
of their side conversation, they are the ones who are
Gotcha.
living in that storeroom.
in that storeroom. Gotcha. Okay. So where are we? Where's Chlor? Why haven't we found Chlor yet?
Well hidden.
Well, and you lost the scent. Do we need to go back? Are we going back for him?
We tried backtracking. I mean, that's when Bob went off and in his little cat form, and I followed after him, and we didn't find any hint that Chlor was back the other way. So we had a conversation, and I think we all concluded that we would continue on downward. It seems to be the best way to go.
Well, I've always heard onward and upward, but I guess we're saying onward and downward.
Well, yeah, because in this case, downward is going forward, and upward would be going back.
Could downward be upward if we stand on our heads?
Don't think that's
I
how
think
that
I'm
works.
onto something. Onward and upside downward.
And
Okay.
just kind of turns and looks at you. You're definitely on something.
I had a great nap. I'm feeling fine. Let's go. I just kind of start taking. I assume that the campsite is somewhat collapsible, and we can just keep going.
The crudish campsite. Looking at what you guys have on you inventory wise, it's just kind of like a, mess kit, bedroll.
Yeah.
Very
Are my
simple.
pants?
Just kind
Are my pants dry?
Dry enough.
Let's see. I don't know. Did you dry your pants?
I feel like I would have taken them off to sleep, and
You have
set up a little tent next to the fire to let some airflow and some heat. I want dry pants and shoes.
you do have prestidigitation.
It was a long day. I was a little unsure about taking the medicine. The gold helped that decision quite a bit, but I wasn't really thinking. I was tired. I feel like I didn't have a lot of hit points at the moment. Probably.
What are
mean,
hit
at the
points?
time-
Never heard of those.
I was just health. My constitution was lacking, and there goes my camera. God
So,
bless America.
Your camera's lacking too.
I'll fix it. Just kind of shimmy.
For those of you who hadn't hit the long rest button and done that to your character sheet, you can also recover one ability score damage that had been done across any of the abilities that had taken damage. So most of it was Constitution. If you have already taken your long rest, which would have been at the end of last session, I had mentioned it then too. So
I believe I did.
some of you start getting some hit points back, which is nice. All right.
I still had a -2 strength.
Hey man, it's level 2.
It's a
Level
hard,
2.
it's a hard life. It's hard out here.
Level 2. Level
Level
2.
level 2. So, you awaken after your rest. It was a little hard to really nod off outside of, the fact that your bodies were, quite beaten. The dim light kind of continued to glow and occasionally would throb. Just not really in a distinct pattern. It would just occasionally dim and brighten again. Um, every so often there was a smell of salty air, uh, little wave of humidity coming down the hallway that you guys had come from. The only direction you have yet to travel is down the rest of the salt hallway.
Salt.
Just this fucking camera.
You all right there? You all right there?
Let's keep going. Down,
Okay.
upward, upside downward, man. I'm gonna take this sucker apart. Is what I'm gonna do.
If we hear a crunching sound, can we jump to conclusions?
He's finally lost his patience.
Using the other camera, the one that's like a much smaller aspect ratio, so you get to focus it on my forehead.
Hey.
And a good-looking forehead it is.
Thank you.
Amazing.
I'm waiting for my after 30s where my hairline starts to recede a little bit. It's got to happen, right? Like,
oh, it does. It's awesome.
Yeah, no one gets away for free.
A few people do, but not many.
Yeah. Tom Cruise.
Keanu Reeves.
Probably using that baby adrenaline glands. What's that stuff? Adrenochrome? Bastards.
I thought it was just baby blood.
Well, yeah, that's what's in there.
We are going down such a rabbit hole.
Something like that, right?
Oh man, I slept pretty good, although everything is sore right now. Feels different than, a day of hard work, but still pretty satisfying. You ready to keep on moving?
Well, just make sure you stretch, stay hydrated, and important to keep motion. I once heard objects in motion will not stop moving until something else stops them. So as long as you stay going, you'll keep going.
I'm pretty sure my little brother said something like that once upon a time, too, from one of his school books, so it must be true.
That's that city learning.
And just kind of looks at you like, your town had a school? Your little town had a school?
Well, not my town in particular. They had to travel to the next one over to actually go to school. But my little sister and my little brother, they go there. And they were both very smart. My little brother in particular has quite the brilliant mind, likes to invent little machines and contraptions. And I gotta be honest, he's probably my hero. He's pretty impressive.
Well, why didn't he help us with those oozes?
Because he lives back in my hometown on the farm with my mama and helps out there and is continuing his schooling. Also, he's younger than me and not an appropriate age to be adventuring around.
Well, how can you be a hero without adventuring?
I don't think it requires adventuring to be heroic.
Well, anytime I've heard a story about a hero, they were on an adventure.
As you guys are talking about this, Pen from the literal other end of the salt hallway is like, hey, are you guys coming?
Oh.
Yep,
We should
be right there.
probably keep walking. So we catch up with Penn.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, anyway.
Pen's just being Pen, just wandering off doing their own thing.
Being pretty salty about it, too.
I mean,
Tonight's secret word is salt.
Yeah.
Do you have like a Pee Wee Herman style? You said the magic word, and then everything like a big confetti burst, and we all scream, and like the cameras zoom in and out. And
If you wanna get me all of the assets to get that configured, I will happily make a you said the magic word button and just have it like just fanfare and everything everywhere. However, it will only be on your camera.
oh no! Well, I gotta fix this thing then.
The other part is since I know you're using OBS to do some of these things, you could actually set that all up on your end to just do it automatically. Um, anyways, the hallway. At the end of the hallway.
The hallway.
The hallway
I knew it.
is a T.
Hmm. So we can go left.
You can
Or
go
we
left.
can go not left.
You can go right.
Well, I have a rather impeccable sense of direction. That way, and I point left, is west. And that way, I point to the right, is east.
Roll me a survival check.
Oh no. That's a 5.
Total, that's a 5.
Oh, survival's wisdom.
Oh,
Ooh, no. That's a well, I guess my modifier doesn't count. It's a +0, so
okay. So it's a 5.
It's just a 5.
Okay. Yeah. You say left is
Left is west and right is
Yep.
east, my guy.
That's what you say.
So, judging by where we came in, which was approximately southwest of here, and those turns we took to get through the room with the explosives was that way, and I point behind us, we should go east.
I'm still questioning the peccable nature of your sense of direction.
So is Theo.
Well, what's your
I
sense of
think that it
direction?
may well be peccable.
Well, you can peck my direction all you would like. Which direction would you like to go? If you want to go east, it's this way.
I think we'll follow your direction just to see what happens.
Oh. Just to see how well we get.
Plus, I have no better idea. May
This
as
way,
well.
we got 2 possible directions to go, right? We don't find anything compelling down that way. We turn around, we go the other way. So it's not like we lose out any particular way that we handle this.
Well, there you go.
Ken's just like, which way are we going? Left, right,
We're
I
going
think
that
we're
way.
going right.
west, wombo, right. Okay.
The basic study of wombology. Ah.
This particular section of tunnel, the temperature continues to drop. Whereas before there was a cool but humid air, and behind you there was the smell of salt. Before long, there's not much odor really at all. And for those with dark vision, which I think is just you and is it Penn or is it just Bob?
I think it's
Bob and Penn.
Bob and
I think
I don't got it.
Yeah, it's one of those I don't have Penn's character sheet memorized. Yes, dark
Penn's a
vision.
tiefling,
Okay.
so they should have.
Yes, there it is. The color of the stone also begins to change and darken. Starts off in kind of strips where you can kind of see it reflecting differently in the dim light, and then as it darkens, the pattern begins to shift more and more as it gets darker and darker as you head down this tunnel. The distinct lack of odor, the distinct lack of smell. In fact, unless you move your own like arm or something in front of your own face, you hardly even smell your own natural sense. You're realizing that a lot of these things are just getting absorbed by the area around you.
Is there air movement that's taking place that might be just moving all the scents away from us?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. Perception. All right. Perception. Perception. Let's. Hey. That's not what I want. Stop it. Okay, let's try that again. Hang on a second.
Threaten. Ah.
Yeah.
I eagerly anticipate the results of this roll.
We're going to do it the old fashioned way.
That's fine.
All right. We rolled a 14. Yeah, 15, excuse me. And let's see. Is this passive perception?
No, you've rolled. Passive perception is just what you notice as you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's basically if someone does a sleight of hand check and their roll is lower than your passive perception and they're in line of sight of you, you'd be able to kind of spot it. Is like an easy description of that.
Okay. In that case, oh. Sorry. There we go. 15.
15. Okay, so what is your hand? Did you do something on D&D Beyond?
No, I'm bouncing. Okay. First thing to remember is everything has a foundation of AD&D, which is basically 2E instead of 5E. And then between on that, I'm like building Pathfinder and then 5E. And in my brain, it's like, okay, on this sheet, everything is here. On this sheet, everything's here. On this, and it's like I completely glossed over the perception on this particular sheet that I'm working with, the physical paperwork, because it's displayed the way I would have skills displayed on a sheet that I use for Pathfinder. And it's like, oh my God, I got tripped up by formatting. That's what it was.
Yeah. Well, with a 15.
Just sheer formatting. That's it.
With a yeah, no, that definitely checks out.
We'll allow it.
It's fine.
Just simple, stupid.
I'm just glad that not every roll is a 6 anymore or a 4 or whatever it was doing. That
That's true.
So what was I gonna say? Oh, right, perception check. With a 15, what you notice with a 15 is that the airflow seems to actually be coming almost down from above. So it's not as obvious as it'd be pushing against your hair and other things like that. You do the whole click your finger, stick it up in the air, and try to figure out the direction. And it's like, oh, only the top of your finger is just generally cold, and you do it this way, and it's like, oh, look at that.
We can tell that that we're going east because you stick your finger in the.
I don't think that's how that works.
The wind is blowing from the east, and it's in our face, so we're going east. Is there actually is there a temperature change at all?
It's definitely not warm air.
But it's not colder than it's not noticeably colder as we're moving forward.
I mean, it has, as you've left the tunnel, or like the salt tunnel, it has continued to get noticeably colder.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Not enough to see frost when you're breathing, but
right.
A noticeable chill. And then
the
two
only
of
need
you,
a light jacket.
Yeah. A windbreaker is honestly enough to give you just enough insulation, kind of deal.
Well, if you want somebody to break wind,
I'm sure Rittingham is more than capable of breaking.
I know a few tricks.
But yes, the airflow you notice is coming from above and seems to be moving down towards the ground.
Okay. If I look up, are there any Is it stone tunnel? Are there any like vents in the ceiling or any kind of anywhere for the air to be coming from?
Do you have like a torch out, or are you just kind of following along the
I'm just
sound of
kind
the
of following.
footsteps?
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking up, looking around as I'm walking along.
You see black.
Mm.
Yeah.
A little prestidigitation, a little puff of light. Is there anything on the ceiling?
Does prestidigitation do a puff of light? I don't think prestidigitation does a puff of light, or is that one of the things it can do?
Prestidigitation can do like
Such as a
useless
shower of sparks.
sparks.
Okay,
It can
so yeah, a
also
little.
light torches and small fires.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, real
I mean, I could light or snuff out a candle, so I feel like I could create like a little, you know, little pa.
And as we established, campfires are just a bunch of candles, as are bonfires. Yes,
I
Bob.
think we might have actually had that discussion at one point.
Bunch of long burning candles.
Just as a point of order for future reference, 'cause I don't think we actually covered this. My character actually has the ability to use the light cantrip at will.
Yes.
So just as a kind of a standing thing, unless otherwise denoted, when we go into a darkened environment, Bob will be bringing on a little bit of light.
I feel like that's something you'll have to mention every time, my guy.
No,
I will
It's
do
not
my
just
best.
A perpetual. We have light.
It's forever.
I mean, I think the assumption there is that something that Bob would just kind of do by
There's
default.
there's certain safe assumptions. I will get clarification when the moments may or may not require it. I will try to work within the realm of reason with all of that.
Oh, there's an envelope to push now.
No, don't.
Wait, you haven't been trying to push it yet?
There's no.
What has the previous 14 episodes of this show been?
Oh, just warming up.
Oh god.
Oh no.
The foot in the door, DM. The foot in the door.
So Renningham,
B.
you use prestidigitation to create a small shower of sparks.
Near where I think the ceiling is, because I guess if it's just a dark going up, then I don't really see what's up there. I can't accurately gauge distances. Although if we're going off Bob's light just being there, then
Well, that's where I want to get a see if point of order. Does he do the sparky spark and then you go, oh yeah, I can cast light, or
let's do it that way. Let's do it that
Okay.
way.
I need everyone to make dexterity saving throws.
Are you pooping me? Hey, I'll take that. That's just a flat 9.
DM, that is a 21.
So Theo saves me. Please. Grabs my belt as I am precariously perched on a precipitous edge.
Okay. So gosh.
Don't do it.
Theo, your wits are like always about you. It's dark. It's an unfamiliar place. You've been following people by the sound of your footsteps. You are ready for any sort of thing. And as soon as these sparks shine out of the ceiling, you basically just kind of halt, take a couple steps back. Penn and Bob, who both have dark vision, are suddenly, not blinded, but startled by the sudden presence of very bright light.
Sorry.
And turn and look as the sparks up in the sky, or up in the ceiling, just a few feet from your heads, ignites what appears to be coal dust. And you are all kind of quickly consumed in a woof. Lasts just a second, just a quick conflagration of coal dust.
Just like when there's a candle and you run your finger over it real quick and there's no harm done and no one, like, it doesn't hurt at all and you don't even notice really that you've done it. Right? Just like that.
So are we describing a low rent thermobaric?
Yes.
Dollar General thermobaric.
You three take 7
not fine.
points
I
of
don't
fire
like what you
damage.
said. I think you should reimagine what you just thought. There are 7 points.
Yes.
That's more than half.
Pen luckily has resistance to fire. It only takes 3.
I have resistance to fire because I want it. Please.
I'm
That
pretty
hurts.
sure that's not how that works.
I'm short, right? So heat rises, so I'm like below. There's like a smoke line. There's like a fire burst line. So I'm like
And
low.
No,
there's some
unfortunately-
envelope pushing DM.
What it really means is that while Pen and Bob like had a lot of their torso, which has clothing and things,
Just the
that
tips
got
of
it,
my
and
ears.
but they have horns or hair. You it's all your head, and you're effectively bald because you're a Verdan. So it's just all skin that was caught. Your clothes are totally fine, other than the sudden soot that has gotten heavier. And instead of just being coal dust, there's soot that kind of settles on your clothes. The other thing that you notice for a few seconds after is that taking some breaths doesn't make you feel like you've actually taken a breath. Like breathing isn't replenishing oxygen as readily as you would have expected, and then it begins to work again.
Oh, because all the oxygen that from the fire and the yeah. Interesting.
Let's do I'm gonna do a quick check from N. We're gonna do a straight intelligence check because perfect. Penn, after experiencing and witnessing this, and his experience with well, let's just say chemistry from back in their days in medical school. Suspect and makes a statement of, guys, probably the only reason the flames went out was because it's low oxygen here.
So no more prestidig, no more sparks, and probably no torches either. I guess we're just walking in the dark.
So, Pen, you're a medical sort. Is this kind of like when you're hiking, you're climbing up on a mountain, and it's kind of hard to breathe? Is that what we're looking at here, or we're looking at something different?
Yes, it is like that. Just the other way. There's not enough flow. Or the flow that is here is not breathable.
Do we
Not
want to
enough
continue
flow.
down this path, or do we want to turn around and make the assumption that maybe if Chlor is here, he was taking the other direction?
That's a good question. Who wants to spend time hanging out in a low oxygen environment, aside from scuba divers?
Well, I guess if we're making the assumption that
Scuba diver.
to further delve
sorry.
means less oxygen, then nothing is at the base of this tunnel because nothing can live without oxygen. So we should head west.
Wouldn't we be calling it the like essence of life instead of oxygen?
Essence is more oily.
Oh, okay. You're right.
I would consider it to be a viscous fluid that, eventually gets really tacky.
Mm.
Are we talking humors? Is that what we're talking about?
Oh, you want humor?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
The joke being the deadpan joke. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, live pans have more of a ping sound.
Who's ping? And why are they here sounding the rock?
This guy I knew. He
Okay.
saved China once.
Oh,
I guess she saved China once.
good for her. Good for her.
Where's China? Ping was a dude.
Ping was a dude.
Maybe he used both pronouns. She, her, and he, his. Could have been gender fluid. You gotta be acceptable and accepting of people. There's no point
genders
in
are
being cosmetic.
identities, not fluids. We
I
were
will
just talking
fight.
about fluids and life essences. I'm sure
Are they
we're
more? Are genders more like essences?
I do not believe we are ready for this discourse yet. I suggest that we turn around and go the other way.
West it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I
Bravely run away.
Clip clop, clip clop.
There we go.
Start
All right.
clapping those coconuts together.
As you guys turn the other direction,
So sad.
you head towards where, in the distance, there is the light of the salty hallway.
It sounds like a bar.
The salty hallway.
Yo, that's a pretty good one.
I'm not
Ready
taking
for-
notes on that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not filling out an application for an LLC. What are you doing?
Salty hallway.
All right, that's a thing. That might be a thing now. We'll see when it shows up.
Sets up.
You
next
guys
to
head the
sweet
other direction.
corridor.
As what Rinningham is calling west, I believe,
Yep.
with
Sure is.
100% blind confidence.
Oh, that's what kind of confidence to have, my guy.
This direction,
Don't say this to us. Just say west. It's west.
I don't think that's how that works.
Nah. If you're not going east, you're
Rinningham-
going west.
Rinningham West.
Rinningham West, yes. As you head Rinningham West, that is going to be a
Special
new actual direction.
Special flavor.
Let's see. Let me
Rinningham
quickly.
west when you want the wrong direction.
All right, so got it. This is going to get really interesting. A Rinning. Okay, so as you head Rinningham West, gosh, I'm going to get so lost with using this as a point of direction.
Don't make it a cardinal. Just don't.
Just it's wherever Rinningham says west is. It's
It's
Rinningham
just
West.
whichever way I'm headed is Rinningham west.
I will be able to have a complete thought, I promise. When my brain decides to not keep following every rabbit hole.
Just don't. You want to head Rinningham east. It's the way you want to go if you want a coherent thought.
Well, you guys were heading Rinningham East, so you can keep heading Rinningham East, but instead you turn Rinningham West. And as you head Rinningham West, the stone beneath your feet begins to soften.
We've crossed the T. Yes.
Yes.
We're softening the stone heart of the central. Blah blah blah. Never mind.
It starts to soften like sand, or it starts to soften like a non-Newtonian. Like the thing itself, the thing itself is getting soft, or the like what you're stepping in is soft. Does that make sense?
Is that Oubliac?
Am I making a yeah? Am I
Oobleck.
making a distinct
Oobleck.
enough separation between like soft like sand and soft like is it a natural soft, or does it feel like
sand
I'm
is
suddenly
rough,
walking-
coarse, and gets everywhere. So
That's why I like it. Anakin Skywalker.
we are gonna have to, however, go with the sand description.
Okay.
It starts off as pebbles, and then the pebbles get finer and smaller, and there's less of a distinct, clatter, and then becomes the soft crunch sand, as if you're walking on a beach.
Not so much of a roof, such a clatter.
Arose such a clatter. Come on now. Up on the roof arose such a clatter.
Oh.
Get it right.
I
If you're
skipped
gonna
the
do the
step.
Christmas references before
I
Thanksgiving, at least do them
know,
right.
know.
Ugh.
I just
Or
heard.
else 3 ghosts will visit you. Technically 4.
I just heard a clatter. Okay.
The ground beneath your feet is soft.
Love it.
The sand, sandy material. Some sections firm up just a
Sandy.
little bit. So it's an uneven texture as you go. However,
Okay.
you begin to notice the light from the hallway behind you, off from the salted hallway, as it continues to dim its gray blue light, the hue in this hallway begins to change, and it becomes a slightly greenish, um, and it starts off rather faint. But as the blue-gray light continues to fade off, and the sandy texture of the floor begins to increase, you see spots kind of on the wall, thin veins. Some of them are splotchier, where there's a faint green glow.
Is it coming from the wall? Like the walls are emitting a green glow. It's not
There's
like reflecting.
it appears to be coming directly from the walls, correct?
Ugh. Can I, like, if I tap the
10
wall, does it
sessions from
change
now,
anything?
we all wind up with like medical issues. down
Superpowers.
below.
Superpower. We have superpowers. Nope.
We
Nope.
have
We're going the
green
other way with this
lung.
one. Going the other way with this one. Superpowers. If I tap the wall,
Tap the
anything,
wall.
any kind of shimmer,
Well,
any kind of reaction?
do you touch where the green is on the wall, or do you just tap the wall like next to where the green is?
So it's like it's noticeable veins of green.
Yeah, there's like striping and then patches that kind of.
like above, like above. I don't want to touch the green itself. I'm gonna touch like close to the green.
Okay, so as you tap next to the green, or near the green,
It's not spinach.
it does kind of like pulse with each tap, just a touch,
Ugh.
just a little bit, just. But the pulse ripples along more than just right near where you touch the. It's brightest closest to where you've tapped the wall, but the pulse kind of travels a little bit, and occasionally on some of the stronger ones, it goes a couple of feet down the hallway. Is it like stretches
Ooh.
around across the ceiling and down, kind of like fractaling out just a touch.
Hey guys, this wall likes being touched. Check this out. And I'm just like pep, 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 pep.
And as he keeps tapping it, the before letting it dim back down, the brightness continues to kind of grow, and it continues to spread across. Um, Bob, can you roll me a nature check?
I will do my best. Let's see if I can figure out how to do that. Bam. Yeah, that's not too bad.
What'd you roll? What'd you roll?
I rolled a
Sorry.
19.
It's a 19. You have seen this phenomena before.
And I have too, but like not in game. You know?
I have.
In your many traversals through the wilds of the world, from your humble abode on the, west central side of the, grand
It's a
ocean before you.
moss-covered humble abode.
And this is very
Plankton.
reminiscent of some of the glowing lichen that you have seen in some of the wetter, darker forests that you've trekked in the past.
Moist. Okay. So as I'm tapping it, when I like, if I take a little brief pause to like look around and see if everybody else is looking, when I look back, is it still getting brighter even though I'm done tapping it, or is it kind of like
When
a
you
ripple
stop,
effect?
when you stop adding to the sensation, like the pulses just kind of like echo further down along,
Sure.
and then they just kind of fade off as they go, and then as you stop, it slowly stops.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'm gonna, now that I've had this realization, I'm gonna walk over to one said Renningham. I'm gonna walk up to him and go, if you make it mad enough, you won't really like it.
Oh, it has feelings. The walls have feelings.
Just the
I thought they had
it's not the
eyes.
walls, it's what's living on the walls.
Oh.
Just be nice to it. Don't harass it.
Oh, okay. Don't harass it. Like, ask it to pay taxes or vote.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. But otherwise, just be nice to it. Don't make it mad.
Sorry, Mr. Wall. And I give it a little flourish and Keep walking with the rest of the class.
Roll me some percentile dice.
Oh, percentile.
Yeah.
All right. That is a solid 33. Look at that.
Oh,
operation.
wow, look at that.
Oh.
As far as you can tell, the wall does not react to your flourishy.
Yeah, that's fine. Most people don't.
It's a hard crowd.
I know.
Hot crowd. All right.
Blows up.
You guys continue onward into the tunnel.
And I don't see anywhere else to go, so why not?
The further you head in, more and more of this lichen that's growing along the walls and ceilings. What was little strips that had pockets that were more prominent turns into more and more connecting pieces, and it turns into a veritable web, just kind of like crawling along the walls. It's a dim enough light where you can see shadows of each other, but it's not really bright enough to make out distinct features.
So,
Oh, this is amazing.
and we're confident as we've been walking along that it's just a single path. There's been no branches off. There's nothing. We can see that this is a self-contained
roll a perception
tunnel.
check.
God bless America.
Land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her.
Something about waves of grain, man. Fucking 3. Wait, perception. 3.
You haven't.
I'm entranced by this lichen as I'm walking along, and like I kind of keep looking out of the side of my eye and just kind of like not like poking it and prodding it, but just kind of like waving my hand across it, not caressing it, but like a soft kind of just, and I see the kind of tendrils of light trickle around and off my hand, and sometimes I'll push just a little bit, but not like poke, but like just give it a little more pressure, and it makes a little bit of a brighter radius around my hand as I'm walking along. I'm loving this. This is great.
For clarification, are you still only touching the rock next to it, or are you touching the lichen itself now?
Oh. I think as I've been walking along, I may have like hit the rock and then kind of glided over the lichen. I may have touched it directly, but like
I just wanted to make
along.
The reaction. The pulse is significantly stronger when you touch the lichen itself.
Yeah.
So as you're going and you see the faint glows kind of brighten up along the wall, and occasional moments where you touch it, you can actually like see a glint brighter. Of texture of Rinningham's face for fraction of a second before it dims once more.
Is there anything left on my? There's nothing like left on my hand. There's no like residue. It's not like a slimy lichen. It's just kind of like a dry, like a leafy thing.
Yeah, honestly, it has a very little texture. It's almost like very tightly touching the rock. And there's nothing you can see on your hands.
Okay.
It's like a dry heat.
Okay, yeah. I dig it.
The one noticeable thing...
That explains the 3.
The one thing you do notice, and you all kind of notice it as you continue to go, is that the ground is continuing to get softer. Whereas before it was a sandy texture, now...
Like quicksand.
It's not so much quicksand. Whereas before you were like sinking in only, so deep. It does kind of start to go around the tops of your shoes, but not much deeper than that.
Don't like that. Is it softer in the middle versus the edge of this tunnel, or is it evenly distributed? Like as I'm walking closer to the edge to touch the lichen on the side of the wall, do I notice that like when I walk back to the middle and kind of
it's like firmer as you're closer to the walls than it is in the middle, but it's not it doesn't impede your movement any, and right. it's not wet or sloshy or anything like that either.
But neither, even whenever it's like kind of curling over the edges of our boots, it's not impeding our progress.
No. It's more just it's a very light, almost dust at this point, but it stays low to the ground.
The thing of it is, I've been an awful lot of places now ever since I left home, and even there, I kind of got around when I was on hunts and such, but I ain't never experienced anything like this. And Theo kind of kicks his foot a little bit, kind of dragging it through the dust, kind of intrigued by the
Okay.
texture of what he's seeing.
As you
Yeah.
do, it plumes, but normally where you would expect if it were like clay dust, where it would like go and go and go, this plumes out as if you were like underwater. It plumes in a direction, but then continues to settle down.
Huh.
And you notice that as you kick up a particular amount, beneath the stuff that plumed and flew, uh, the material underneath is darker.
Ooh.
So
Mm.
what was a lighter sand turned into this lighter dust on top has a darker substrate underneath it.
It has a darker underbelly.
Hmm. Theo, you say you've stepped in a lot of things then. How many other things have you stepped in that were similar to this?
Nothing really similar to this before. I mean, dry dust is a bit different than this. Mud is different than this. Water is different than this. I've been through a bog once. Someone lost a horse there once upon a time. It wasn't a very nice thing, but even that felt different than this.
A bog. Bogs were more spongy. Yes, a little. Was it peaty? Was it a peaty bog?
It was
I
it
know a
was a
guy named Pete.
very depressing bog. I can tell you that much. Very
bet it-
very fun to make people despair dragging themselves through it. Ruined a pair
I
of boots once.
I bet it was pretty depressing. I bet that child's was really really sad about that horse.
Oh, he was absolutely torn up. And so were all the children that found out about it.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Well, I
Well,
imagine also with your shovel that you've dug up quite a few things before. Have you dug up any dirt like this? And like I kick it as well to kind of kick it like not towards
Oh, nothing like this. The
Theo, but
soil
just
at the
kind of
farm
like
is better than this, a better consistency than this. This wouldn't be very good for farming.
well, not for farming, but what's underneath?
Are you telling me that you want me to use my shovel to
I
dig?
can borrow your. Can I borrow your
into-
shovel? I'll dig with your shovel. Can I borrow your shovel? Is it a special shovel? Do you have another shovel? A trowel? Probably more
I
my
do not have
size.
another shovel. I do not have a trowel with me. This is my shovel that I brought from home.
Well, I don't really want to use my hands, but whenever you mentioned stepping in it, it piqued my curiosity. I noticed that the colors changed some.
All right. Hey,
The top
DM,
layer.
can Theo use his shovel to move a little bit of this dust out of the way? Preferably away from the group. He's not trying to shovel it onto them.
I want to
Okay.
see. You said it's a different color, another variant substrate beneath.
so as
All right.
you know, party kind of shuffles, I guess, around. You have some room to kind of scrape. Do you go deeper than you did with your foot with the
Oh, yeah.
shovel? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Like
describe,
describe.
and then.
Yeah, like what do you describe that for me? How deep we going?
Okay, well, yeah, Theo knows that like his kick was just kind of playful and light. In this situation, he's kind of digging it in almost as if he were trying to scoop up a handful of or a shovelful of dirt. Like he's trying to dig
Okay.
dig a hole for planting purposes almost.
Okay. You pop your shovel in, and it goes down about 6 inches before it hits a solid, and you can feel it kind of reverberate up the shovel in a familiar way. Clunk, that it hits a solid surface underneath. However, as you pick up and move the material, you see that there are three distinct color layers. In the dim lighting, actually, Bob, are you still having your light spell present, or are you just letting the?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've still got a little bit of light spell working.
You can now see a much better like layering as to kind of what you're walking on. The topmost appears to be a very thin, silty clay material. However, it doesn't behave how you would expect. It tends to stay towards the ground. The second layer is just a dark, finer than sand, but not necessarily the same full-on texture as what you would expect for soil up on the surface. However, the bottom layer has an element of moisture to it, and that does have some texture. It has some texture, some different random just pieces of what appears to be some sort of organic material, and lots of little pockets, little pea-sized pockets of glowing things that are reacting rather I say viciously, but not in a malicious way, like just fervently reacting to the fact that they were just so distinctly disturbed.
Well,
So,
I've never seen dirt like that either, Theo. I think we're in a league of our own here.
yeah, this is certainly not like any sort of dirt or soil I've ever dug up before. Bob, you
Hmm.
mentioned something about not wanting to make whatever it is angry. Do you know anything
Well,
about this?
it's like a lichen or a moss type, and
Oh, okay.
I'm not real familiar with what this is, but I would guess that what we're walking through is not actually dirt, but spores. Probably lots and lots of spores.
Spores? You mean like eggs?
No, more like mushrooms, like fungi.
I'm
Yeah.
a fun guy, but this isn't. This is disgusting.
Okay, that's a
Different
subjective
type of thing.
statement.
What's
Hey,
subjective? We're all having
hey,
fun here.
pen turning. Hey, he's grown on me.
Ha,
See, Pen understands my sense of humor. We've had laughs. I'm fun, but this.
I mean,
spore?
Pitt tried to stuff you down a conveyor belt. You
We
seem
were
to
having. It
finish
was
pretty
fun. It
quickly.
sounded fun. I mean, conveyor belt. I could move without me having to move.
You could have also exploded.
Yeah, but I didn't, so it's fine. Hey, that's a bit spores. Yeah, spore.
So we should not be breathing these in then.
well,
Without any
I
sort of
stuffed my
maybe not.
face underneath my shirt. I'm breathing nothing.
I mean, I'm just throwing out a hypothesis here. I'm not 100% certain. Can I do a
Well, then
nature
in that
check on
case, I
that
think
one?
it would be very
You could
smart
do a
to
nature
treat it
check
much
on
like
that
you
one.
would.
Yeah, let's see how confident I am in this.
It explains my congestion.
Ooh,
Well,
that's a
you die in the game,
16.
you die in real life.
16.
Growing bioluminescent lichen in my sinus cavity. I'm gonna sneeze a glow stick.
Bob, are you wearing?
Awesome.
That would be really funny. Uh, are you wearing gloves? Like, do you have like leather gloves or something on your hands?
That is a really good question. Let me check real
Because I
quick.
knew you were distinctly looking for socks before when you got to the
Yeah,
city, but I
yeah.
couldn't remember if
Well,
you had,
I I have
distinct
an
hand
obsession with
coverings.
socks.
I know Theo
Yeah.
has mentioned multiple times effectively the work gloves that they're kind of using a lot of the time. So I was curious if
Actually, I am not wearing gloves.
okay. Um, with a 16, you kind of follow some of the lichen off the wall, kind of go down to where it meets the ground ish, and you can see where it kind of branches out a little bit as it approaches the ground. And then you kind of like mess with it at the edge, and it glows a little bit, and you pick up some of the silty material, but it doesn't glow or seem to react at all to you touching it, the topmost layer. Um, and it does have a silty consistency. It's just not of a material that you've seen before, but you're actually pretty confident that the top layer is not spores. What the bottom layer might have in there of spores, it's much harder to tell. But this is not necessarily it's a lichen like, but not like a lichen you've ever seen before. Not like the
Hmm.
lichens you've ever seen
So it's a
before.
lichen. Lichen light.
Not
So
like the
you are
lichens you've seen before, like the ones that howl at the moon.
Ahoo!
So, should I tell everyone that I've lost confidence in my original hypothesis, or should I just let it ride?
Or you can say you have experimented on said hypothesis and have come to a confident conclusion that you were wrong. So it's up to you on how you disseminate this information.
The last one is the right thing to do, but when you start presenting complex ideas like that, people keep saying that the science has changed. Ah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, we'll go with option 3. Hey, you know what? After further examination, I don't think this top layer is a spore. I'm not sure what this stuff is.
What does it taste like?
I don't know. Here, tell me.
Mm. No.
I was gonna say, did you just taste it? Like,
No. You've told me it was spores. I don't want spore in my mouth. I'm not getting paid for this.
No. We just corrected it. It's not a spore.
Well, that's what you say. But first, you said it was a spore. Make up your mind.
Pen just kind of goes down, picks up some fingerfuls after seeing you do it, messes with it. You know what? You know what? I think Pen would. I think Pen would.
Pen would do the taste
Taste it?
test.
Oh, ew.
Pen would do the taste test.
Oh, it's gritty.
It tastes like new coat.
Really
oh,
coats
no.
Really
It's
coats
like
your
the
tongue.
It's like the
bitter.
dregs at the bottom of a coffee cup.
And opens her mouth and Rittingham,
Opens
roll me
his
some
mouth.
percentile dice.
More percent. I love this. I love percentiles. Here we go. Come on, baby.
Sorry, Shelby. We didn't mean to.
Wow, 32 actually. that time.
Oh, you're rolling
Very
in the
consistent.
30s.
I'm headed upwards and downwards, onwards and downwards, upside down.
Onwards and downwards.
Nothing happens. Her mouth is open, just kind of like nah. It's like it's flavorless, but in a bitter bad way. It's like it takes all the parches the. I don't no.
The astringency is overwhelming.
Is it when she like opens her mouth and like
water.
does it look before she drinks her water? When she's like nah, do I notice her tongue like a different color, or
Is
can I
it
see any
glowing?
of the stuff on there?
All looks normal.
Yeah. And
Like,
but
it was
clearly
barely,
not
like,
happy.
A tip of the tongue on the tip of the finger, kind of like that's
Yeah.
the amount. Yeah.
But she's like pah, like she's really not having it.
It's like a ripper bed.
And I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm grossed out. I'm grossed out by it. I'm really not happy about it. I want
Like
to
a
cast
riverbed.
prestidigitation to clean her mouth, like to just pop, like just clean the
A
mouth.
minty fresh taste.
She's like,
Shelby
and
goes
then all of a sudden there's just like, you watch as all of the moisture suddenly like pulls out of her mouth into the air, or his mouth, because Penn is a male, played by Shelby as a
Yes.
female. Yeah, out of into the air for a second, and just kind of like plops to the ground, and you actually can see like where the spit is. It just kind of sits there on the surface, and it just kind of. You ever, hawk a loogie onto like really dry dirt, and it just kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like that,
kinda
just with
sits
the
there.
line of spit, and just
Ew.
kind of, yeah, it just kind
Ew.
of sits there,
It's like a snail's
Um,
trail.
and goes back to the water, just like glug, like, what the hell?
You
Yeah,
shouldn't put
I
that
was-
in your mouth. You don't put strange things in your mouth. It didn't even smell good. You thought it wasn't food. You cleaned your
Didn't
mouth
smell
out.
bad. It didn't.
Did you give it a sniff test?
Yeah,
And it passed?
it didn't really have any smell.
So with my elongated schnoz, I'm gonna kind of bend down to the ground, like kind of just give it a little.
I mean, now that you talk about it, I can't barely smell any of the nastiness that we had on our clothes earlier either.
I'm starting to kind of. Why?
To be fair, in the clothing nastiness, that was prestidigitationed away.
Oh. But
Rittingham,
but
you
still,
did that.
like-
You were the one who cleaned everyone off.
Oh, hey, you're welcome. But there was no you still can't smell any other, like there's no aroma.
Okay, well, roll me a perception check.
But DM, canonically, you said that we couldn't. smell
15.
things.
Haha.
I said you couldn't smell anything on the
With
other side of the
advantage.
tunnel.
On the other side, that's
With
right.
advantage because my nose. I mean, a big
With
nose.
advantage because of his nose.
It's a big nose.
I'm gonna say with advantage if you
fine,
get
I'm
on all
kidding.
fours to do some smelling on the
Ooh,
ground.
Alrighty.
I'm
Igor,
not
pull
getting
your
on all
jets.
fours. I'm not getting all fours.
Alright.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
You
Yeah.
sniff around, and starting off at the wall, there's not a whole lot of anything. You kind of get towards the ground, and there's not a whole lot. If you go to where Theo had dug a small section out, and it was
A divot.
maybe yay wide, just a little divot just down to the. There's a faint but distinct to the rest of the area. An earthy, not necessarily nasty pungent, but it's a distinctly
Yeah.
earthy smell.
Like compost.
Yeah, but
Or
not in the
like a forest after it's rained into the fall, and then like
Yeah,
decomposing leaves, and it's just kind of
Yeah, closer to that.
a little bit.
Petrichor.
Yeah.
Petrichor.
Except
That's a good
with
one.
a faint
Hint of
kind
nutmeg.
of sickly sweet note to it.
Death. Yeah.
But I'll be honest, yes, it smells. There's a
Like
non-plant something in there too, but that's the kind of odor you get. You can smell each other ish now. I mean, those of you who still have coal soot have, some nice deodorant naturally tacked onto your body right now, but
charcoal, that's all the rage.
So
well, Theo, I say place that dirt nicely back in the hole. Sorry for making. I didn't want to make you do that. I just thought maybe this is an interesting situation we find ourselves in. I've never stepped in something that reacts so kindly. I've never touched walls that light up.
both in character and not in character, Redingham is having difficulties breathing.
Say, that is some serious dedication.
I sniffed up a little bit of those spores.
Oh, poor thing. Sorry, you still have a cold.
Oh no, it's
Yeah,
fine.
Theo puts the dirt back, taps it down like he would any other soil that he's replacing.
Well,
You
let's see if
turn
it
to
gets
go
deeper further down
and
the tunnel.
return the dirt, and you notice that the stratification that you had kind of like cut it out and moved it has kind of started to spread itself out. It's and
On his shovel?
I had taken it as you like picked it up and like kind of moved it aside. Is it on the shovel
yes,
still?
Move it aside. No.
Okay, well, on the side, so we're just kind of picked it up. Where it was originally a small mound, it has started to flatten kind of on its own, and you see the little pea-sized pieces are starting to kind of like move on their own in the direction of the earthier soil, like material. And with it, you see some move forward, and then others kind of move along backwards and are pulling some of the layers of dirt with them very slowly, like half a centimeter every couple of seconds, just very gently moving around now that you've turned your attention back to it.
I'm glad I didn't see that.
Oh, this is really weird.
And also, as you look backwards, you notice where you kicked up before is no longer kicked up.
It's self-leveling.
It has more or less re-leveled, and there is no evidence of your footsteps coming down this hallway.
You look back and there's only one set of footsteps.
Theo puts the dirt back where it was.
Nice dirt.
Very nicely. Just did a little gentle tap to level it down. So sorry to have disturbed you.
None of your touching and disturbing of the soil there had any reaction along the walls or ceiling.
So here's a thought, gang. If Chlor were to have been taken here or otherwise come this way, we wouldn't have any way to really tell because there wouldn't be any sort of traces left behind.
No footprints. Good way to run if you're trying to hide.
Is there anyone here that has the ability to detect magic?
No.
Does Pen have detect magic? Pen does not have detect magic.
I don't either.
What if we throw the dirt at the wall?
Oh,
Why
and make it
what
mad?
would be the point of that?
I don't know. It makes bright colors. I took a lot of deep breaths. My brain is oxygenated. There was a big influx. I'm a little lightheaded. Okay.
I, I say that we keep moving.
There's no telling what's in front, so we should be careful. Maybe someone else go first.
I'll
I
walk
mean,
first. I don't have a problem with that.
Well, Bob, you do have the light.
maybe
Yep.
we put Pin in the front because Pin has those amazing eyes of his that can see in the dark.
And those
Mm.
scary
maybe-
horns.
I thought you were talking about the color, but okay.
Head down, Pin. Lead with the horns.
Maybe closer. You stay closer to me and Renningham since we can't see in the dark.
Are they
Even
horns
if
or
it's all
antlers?
glow, it's kind of hard to make things out, and I really appreciate that light that you got going on.
Like calcium based? Or is it more like a fingernail?
Pen turns to their horns. They don't fall off and regrow seasonally like antlers would.
Well, lead with the horns.
See, and all this time I thought they were antlers.
It's just the way it be sometimes.
You can
So
make some
Pen,
real cool things out of antlers.
I've
Big
seen
thing.
Christmas. Well, sorry. Nope.
go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
I was gonna say I see Christmas trees, but there's no such thing as Christmas.
What your family can celebrate whatever holidays they have.
I've seen menorahs made out of antlers. That'd be some redneck Jewish stuff right there, man. An antler menorah.
I think you
Dun
have to go to
dun
Montana
dun
to
dun
get
dun
one of
dun
those.
dun 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 dun
Really
dun dun
put
dun
on a
dun
panto.
Ding diddling, ding ding diddling diddling, ding ding diddling 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 ding ding diddling diddling.
on a bit. Hey, it's
It'll
more a
spin
it's
dreidels,
more
they
cultural appropriation than anything, you know.
Yeah. They don't spin dreidels, they spin Budweiser bottles.
No, it's PBR. Come on, do it right.
Oh, yeah. That's got to be a light beer, though. Natty light bottles. They don't even come in bottles.
So Penn leads the way.
Onward and upside downward.
And 50 feet, 100 feet, 200 feet. And the walls kind of sort of stay the same. And the texture, it softens, but you almost can feel now that there's an extra squishiness, but you're not sinking any further in.
It's like a little more spongy.
Yeah, just a little bit more spongy. Before off, not 10 or 15 feet out, what had first just appeared to be just more layers of the lichen really just was more of a trick of the eye as the space opens up into a rather large diameter space.
Mm.
The final
And
frontier.
the ceiling is covered in this lichen, but as you go in, you can see that the brightness comes up just a touch as up towards the very top, the lichen is at its densest that you've ever seen. And it's enough that you can faintly see a circular patch in the middle of the floor, in the middle of this room. And you're coming in on it kind of on an angle, so you have to like turn into the room to actually see this space to see what's going on. It's about, what did I say, 60-ish foot diameter
Sure.
space.
In that neighborhood, yes.
And out of the ground in that central area, there appears to be mushrooms of varying sizes
Mushrooms!
and colors. Yeah, mushrooms. We've had one,
Is
yes.
there a caterpillar hanging out around here somewhere?
Token it up? No, there's no stone
Nah.
caterpillar hanging out on these mushrooms.
Okay, just checking.
Mushrooms of different colors, you say?
Yes, mushrooms of different colors.
Interesting.
There are some faint blue ones, some green ones that match closer to the lichen colors, ones that are more yellow in hue, and then some larger ones that are like stool size where you can kind of sit on them. if you know that type of height, that are the rims are starting to have a purpley hue to them,
Do I
and these
see any
mushrooms
bowls of
themselves are
porridge?
glowing. Do you what?
Curds? Do I see any bowls of porridge? Curds and whey?
Oh, please, no giant spiders.
Oh,
Do you
someone
want to
named.
roll percentile dice for some porridge?
No, I don't want to see anything.
I mean, speaking
No.
of spores, if we were
I
to
didn't
try
mean
to
to
find
interrupt.
anything
I just
there.
had to make the Miss Muffet joke. Description of the room. We can keep going. A lot of mushrooms with like
Yeah.
giant curling on the edges, different colors, dim
So
lights.
for a 60-foot diameter room, the central most 20-ish feet of a circle, um, each kind of have just like different levels of just kind of mushroom growth. The tallest being in the middle and goes to about 4.5 feet tall. And then there's just little pockets of other mushroom all kind of next to it, and they're emanating a faint glow all their own. Uh, and you can see on the material, the substrate that they're kind of sitting in, faint tendrils going out about a foot and a half of the same lichen that you've seen climbing all along the walls and on the ceiling, just kind of like spread out from this pocket of mushrooms.
Well,
There
that's
is now enough
definitely
brightness just from the lichen and the mushrooms themselves that you can actually start making out features of each other's faces and stuff. You wouldn't be able to really read in it easily, but it's more usable than the light in the tunnel that was behind you.
There's no one sitting on the mushrooms.
There's no one sitting on the mushrooms.
Do they look like natural breeds? No. Uh,
Nothing you've ever seen before.
yeah, yeah, okay.
They look like they're from the Underdark, but we don't have an Underdark.
So the area
Who
We don't have
says
an
we don't
Underdark.
have an Underdark?
the area of the mushrooms, and then
Speculation.
directly above the area of the mushrooms is the really really dense
Dense.
lichen.
Yeah, almost
a
almost
moss
solid.
now.
You can it's
Uh,
definitely thicker and glowing more distinctly.
I mean, I've seen a lot of mushrooms in my time, but never anything that big or
I don't
glowing.
I don't think I want any of these mushrooms. No, they don't look. Not here to harvest.
Bright colors when you're out and about are oftentimes a warning sign.
I don't want to be poisoned. No, thank you.
As you guys kind of walk into the room, um, the other thing that's kind of noticeable is similar to as you were approaching is the texture on the walls along with the lichen makes it very difficult to kind of gauge where crags and crevices and anything else are. In fact, turning around to see back towards the hallway that you came, if you hadn't just walked that way, you have to kind of stare at the ground and kind of see where the ground should be meeting the wall to kind of make sure that that's where the path would be.
So it's screwing around with our depth perception.
Mm-hmm. It's like when you go to a fun house and they give you like the 3D glasses, and then it's black light and just like the neon spray all over the place or the dots, and it's just usually there's a person
or the
with
drunk
dots.
goggles they give you when they try to tell you not to drink and drive.
Yeah. So, DM, walking around
Yes.
this room trying to, find the next path, is it possible for Theo to, keep his foot up against the edge of the wall as he walks?
Yeah, you can try to keep yourself. Are you going kind of circling around to the right, around to the left? Like which way you kind
I
of?
think he'll go to the left.
Okay.
Um,
That's kind of the
Seems
direction
like-
you guys came in. If this is a circle here, you guys kind of came up from the side, and so you just kind of keep going around. If that makes if that's satisfactory.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Does anyone go with Theo as he explores?
I shall
um,
stand still and mark this spot.
okay, yeah, we should looking around and noticing that it's no real discernible exit, and even looking back and seeing how well the place that we just came in blends in. We shouldn't leave too quick. Some either stand here or mark something on the wall, put something on the ground so we know where we came from. Because I'm not getting lost with these mushrooms. And
Does
then I'll kind of follow
Ben-
Theo as well.
does Ben
Almost
have
as if he's
anything
afraid that the mushrooms are going to attack.
Not attack, but I don't want to get lost. You don't know where
Gosh,
you're going unless you know where you've been.
it would be so nice to like have our arcane mark or something like that, but
Yo, what happened? So I sidebar. I remember there were some like Kickstarter uh visual aids
yeah,
that you were subscribed.
it's
What
the
happened with those?
time energy, and dopamine are
Oh
required for me to
no,
get those configured.
I wasn't
They
talking about like
exist. They're
configuration.
done.
Like the Kickstarters were successful and okay.
Yeah, they exist.
Oh,
They're usable.
nice, 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 nice.
It's just the time, energy, and dopamine to get it all kind of.
Yeah, no, that wasn't
Yep.
what I
No,
was
I
questioning. I was
don't worry.
questioning whether or not the Kickstarter, because Kickstarters, I mean, they could,
Yeah.
They
really
can fizzle
crapshoot
out.
whether or not they deliver. But okay, neato
Yeah.
torpedo.
So, yeah. Uh, Theo, roll me a perception check with advantage as you are trying to be very methodical and intentional about your. If you just said you were walking along the wall, but no, you're like, this is what you're detecting. This is what you're looking for. This is.
That would be a 13, DM. Is Theo just
Okay.
gonna slowly makes his way along the wall with his foot and dragging?
As you
get
do.
halfway, and you
Sorry.
stub your toe.
In
You.
Mark boots? Are you kidding?
I mean, it can happen. You could. It just doesn't hurt so much, but it could trip you up. It would have stubbed your toe if it was regular shoes.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Your methodical nature pays off. As you are stepping along, you find sections where there's no light that's activated along the walls. Other times, you get close to where some of the lichen has met the ground, and as you step, where it didn't react so much in the tunnel before, it reacts more now. Where you step and it kind of pops up the wall for a second and doesn't make it all the way to the pinnacle of the dome in here, but it does travel a fair ways up the wall. And you find a spot where the light kind of goes off and then suddenly disappears off to the right of like following the light just kind of. And looking beyond that, you see that there is a space about 5 feet wide, where the tunnel you were in before was about 10 foot wide. Wasn't terribly prevalent, but this space is about 5 foot wide. And again, if you hadn't been kind of walking right along here, you can see as you peer through that there's more lichen on the inside of this surface. Even walking the other direction, it would have been pretty easy to miss if you weren't carefully watching for the floor. And so you find a spot. Do you stop there, or do you want to keep kind of going?
Well, Theo's a bit curious to see how many exits there are, so he knows that Renningham is following him. He's going to say, "Hey, Renningham, do you mind standing right here, buddy, by this exit, and I'll try to see if we can find another one, maybe." That
Yeah,
will be
okay.
the end of it.
Yeah, this you should only stand right here in this exit and this doorway. What's down this way? Have you looked a little further? Is there anything down there?
I have not looked any further. I want to make sure and see if there's any other ways out of this room. If this is the only one, then we can all explore it together.
Do you have a torch? A candle?
I do have a torch. Yes.
What about a candle? Something smaller? A stick?
I don't think I have anything smaller at this point.
I mean, it's not pitch black, Renningham. It's the same. It's slightly brighter than when you were in the tunnel before.
Right, but I can see down the tunnel.
Just a touch, yeah. I mean, you'd see if shadows are moving and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. No, I don't watch the tunnel. I'll stand here by the tunnel.
Appreciate it, buddy. And Theo's gonna keep going and just see if there's any other.
Can you roll me one more perception check?
Sure.
Oh.
And then Renningham,
That's a
also roll me a perception
20.
check.
There
Oh
we go.
wow. Okay. Yeah.
5.
Roll me some percentile dice, Renningham.
Mother of.
You're just giving me fun opportunities to do these sorts of things. So.
An 88.
Okay. You see nothing the whole time.
Ah,
You're staring down there. There's a moment where like your foot slides a little bit because you're just like kind of waiting for Theo
Yeah.
to finish his thing, and you
Transferring
kind of
weight.
slides a little bit, and you see the color change in the soil, and you're just like gently tapping it back over, and then you look up, and you're like, wait, was that? And then it's like, it's the lichen shifting or something like that. And it's like, oh no, it's
Yeah.
just
And like I'm looking down the tunnel and like I'm looking back to make sure that I know where I am and make sure like the tunnel I have this feeling that like the tunnel's gonna disappear or like regrow and I won't be able to see it and I won't be able to get back into it or like I'm making sure that Bob's not moving because Bob's standing over the exit. I want to make
Very
sure the
still.
exit's not
Very
moving.
still.
I'm getting a little
what you do.
paranoid here. I don't like a little paranoid. I
You
like being underground.
you do see Penn is kind of slowly just kind of meandering around and getting closer and closer to the mushrooms.
Hmm.
However, Theo, you continue along the wall and you find another spot not terribly dissimilar to the one before, but this alcove starts off maybe 18 inches wide. And if you weren't staring at the ground, there's actually even like lichen on the lip of stone to kind of pass into this area. Um, it's narrow, it's snug, it appears to open up back there, but even using your ground trick that you'd found with the used to find the first path, this one is even harder to find, but it's there. There's a space to go. It appears to open up wider once you get past the first couple of feet. But it also gets much darker, much quicker compared to the other tunnels that you've either found or been in so far.
Guys, I found another. I don't know if you call it a doorway or whatever it is, but there's one over here too. It's a bit smaller than the other one that runs by, but I think we got two options. I mean, it looks like if we can squeeze on through the first couple feet, we might be able to maybe keep on going this way too.
And with that, Penn kind of calls over as he approaches the mushrooms. Okay, be there in a sec. Penn just kind of meanders on up, and Bob and Renningham, the two of you who kind of hung back and just kind of keep scoping things out, notice that as Penn has been approaching the mushrooms, where before in the substrate that you were walking on, the ground didn't really react at all. But now, as Penn is approaching closer and closer and gets within 10 feet of the edge of the mushrooms, there now starts to be faint glows on the ground when they take steps. And then as they get within 5 feet, the glows are distinctly brighter and even make some of the closer mushrooms kind of pulse very faintly, just in a...
Hey, Penn, look at your feet.
Penn starts kind of just like gently tapping back and forth. And starts to glow, 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 glow.
Be careful.
It's
Don't
a
make too much of a
hoedown.
ruckus.
Oh, no.
I think we're going where Theo is. We're moving forward. We're getting out of this room. Staying away from the mushrooms.
Penn...
Let's see if Penn responds.
Penn kneels down for a moment and picks something up from like the base near one of the mushrooms, and it appears to be a knife,
A knife.
and stands up and kind of looks at this and then looks at some of the other
Where do you even get a knife?
mushrooms. Hey guys, I think people have been slicing off pieces of mushroom.
But why did they leave the knife, Penn?
Because they're too stoned to remember it.
Gosh,
Yeah.
I wish Shelby was here. I wish Shelby was here to like
Just keep adding like the commentary. Yeah.
To make these
Yeah.
terrible decisions that you want to make?
Or I mean, yeah, there's a semblance of Penn that's always curious, and I'm curious to know if Shelby's vision of Penn is curious enough to do what I would think what Penn would.
You think that Penn would eat some of the mushroom? I absolutely think he would.
Firmly believe that Penn would eat some of the mushroom.
I absolutely think he would. That is very Penn.
I'm surprised it hasn't already happened, actually.
I think he would, DM.
So Penn goes over and finds a piece of mushroom that, to them, seems to already have had some cut done out of it. It's got like a ripple in it as it's grown back together. It's not a smooth cap, and just kind of like carves off a bite-sized chunk.
Oh, Pen,
Hey, you don't know where that's been.
And we're going to use that as our break. We're going to be back in like 15 minutes. Go to the bathroom, get yourself some snacks. I need to do both of those things. And
Nom nom.
yeah, just chill out, relax. We'll be back in about 15 minutes, and then we will continue on with this
when Shelby joins us
adventure
again, she's just
deep
gonna
down
be like,
underground.
She'd be like, "You
"What?
only took a
What?
small
Follow
bite of the
these
mushrooms?"
conditions."
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a bite-sized morsel, just like a little
But
with
which
the knife.
mushroom did he take a bite of? Like, was it the colorful one? What color was the mushroom that he took a bite of?
We'll handle
It
that
was-
after the break.
That's even better. Yeah, we'll handle after the break. All right, we'll be back. Let me get the things and stuff going, but we'll be back.
Live.
Oh my gosh, we're back. I hope you guys had a great break. I hope you got yourselves some snacks and, some drinks and took a quick, potty
Hope it
break,
was a wonderful
because...
tour of the homestead.
Ooh, yes.
Enjoy your
Um,
time away.
uh, I had a thought. I had a whole thing I was going to say, because I
Pen?
forgot to mention... That's okay. That's what it was.
Eat
I forgot
mushrooms.
to mention... No. Before we get back to Penn. Something I was going to mention in the announcements in the beginning, that is now going to be said now in, I guess, the midpoint. This channel will be participating in this year's upcoming Thankmas
Yay!
charity live event. Like we've done last year and the year before, trying to raise money for charity. This year's charity is the World Something Kitchen. I'll have more details posted somewhere and talked about at another point in time. But anyway, so we'll be streaming during the main event is December 10th, so it's like a month from now, so there'll be more communications about it. But yeah, we'll be doing that, and then probably peppered in the week leading up or days afterwards. So I'll keep you posted. I just figured I'd mention that it's coming to you live from northern Pennsylvania and wherever else people are chiming in from. So yeah,
Via the magic of the interwebs.
I know the interwebs really is magical. I don't really have a good way of describing it otherwise, because even the engineers who designed it don't fully understand it. So
All I know is that sharks like the interwebs too.
yes, they do. They like to chew on the cables.
They have
Rabbits of the deep.
a salty flavor.
Tingly, a little bit tingly.
Which so salt, bitter.
Oh
or
wait, there's the magic word again.
savory?
I missed what you said, and suddenly people were looking at each other.
Oh, I said salt. Is it bitter or is it savory?
Salt? I believe doesn't
Salty?
salt?
It's piquant.
I'll say
Salt
it's
is
its
own
own.
category, right?
Yeah,
Is it really?
yeah.
I have one of those uncultured tongues.
Salt is its own flavor category.
Yeah, it's its
So
own
it's-
its own part of the grouping.
The beauty of salt is that it stimulates the taste buds and effectively opens up the
So does
sensory
battery acid.
receptors.
So, is there like an infographic?
No,
Flavor infographic
We've gotten so off course.
images.
Speaking of flavors, DM, what did that mushroom taste like?
Umami.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, we're doing. Sorry, we're doing it.
Are we
Umami is the
regurgitating?
savory type flavor. So Penn, where we last left off, Penn had taken the knife that he had found, kind of just laying there among the mushrooms, and just kind of carved off a slice.
I forgot I only have 6 hit points. Don't eat the mushroom. Don't eat the mushroom. Don't do it. Let's not let's not light this candle.
It's a Roman candle. Too late, my man.
Pin.
As Penn does and
Panther.
slices it off, right along the edge of the, it's one of the
starts
greener
bleeding.
mushrooms that has like a purple lip, so it's one of the larger ones.
Sounds like a terrible idea. Let's do
Kind of
it.
just like cuts a piece off of like the edge of it.
Doesn't even
And
season
as he does, the seam right where it was, it kind of like glows a little bit brighter, and you can kind of see like, actually, Penn's the only one who really sees this, a much finer, tiny like rippling of the glowing light. That kind of has been permeating through all of your experiences so far. And then takes off the chunk, and the chunk kind of glows along the seam where it was cut, and you guys can see a faint glow, a little bit brighter from where the raw section is before it slowly fades.
Oh.
And Penn can see this, and I'll have to relay this to Shelby. Penn can see that it, within a few seconds, the piece that was cut out slowly begins to grow back together. And it's slow at first, but then it gets kind of faster and faster. And it doesn't only takes
Oh.
a few seconds to become noticeably smaller of a gap.
Mitosis.
But the chunk that Ken had cut, just kind of, bite-sized morsel, just kind of pops in his mouth, and
Bad idea.
we kind of see like a little bit of a shivery type response. It's not good raw, not bad raw. It's just
Raw.
spongy.
It's got an earthy taste.
Yeah, it's better than the soil.
Ew. You've eaten soil? Why would you put soil in your mouth? People walk on that.
You watched me do it.
Watched him do it.
Yeah, but still, it's gross. Why would you do that? No one.
Science.
Mushrooms, you season them, you put them in stews. You don't just pop them raw from places you don't even know. Who's grown this mushroom? What are its effects? It doesn't look like a mushroom.
I can tell you one of the effects.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Here we go.
You know how we camped, a couple hours ago and really haven't stopped?
Yeah.
We camped and haven't stopped
We're
camping.
stopping
This morsel
now.
felt like a whole mouthful. Or like a whole stomach full. Like I feel full. This feels good.
Oh. Were you hungry before?
Not really, but now I know I'm not. That I didn't, I was peckish, snacky, just kind of. And
Huh.
the aftertaste is not that bad. It's like a hint sweet, but not like overwhelmingly sweet. Like I wonder what would happen if you like try to saute with these, if they would, sweeten up, kind of like, yellow onions and stuff do, or sweet onions do.
I'm a fan of a sweet onion.
Just kind of
Just for the sake of doing a
little
baseline
butter, a little
survey,
garlic.
Real quick, how many fingers?
You are really far away, and it's dark. I mean, I can see in the dark, but you're really far away.
That's fair.
Okay, that's what we need. We'll check back later and see how that's going.
Any other
cuts off,
mushrooms you want to try? What other flavors are there?
I don't know that that's a smart idea. Especially if you're not familiar with a type of mushroom and you see it in the wild, it's not usually a good idea to put it in your mouth if you cannot definitively identify it.
He already ate one. What's another one gonna do?
Penn starts kind of cutting off some of the other colored pieces just to kind of
They're
like
in
look
the
at them.
same
And
group. Most mushroom species don't cohabitate. So if this was a bad mushroom, then
You're the guy who can't even tell east from west.
How do you know? We've been heading west this whole time.
No.
I would have laughed so hard if you had said east this whole time.
That would have been funny.
I thought about it for a second, but I was like, wait a minute, no, we're headed west.
So as Penn cuts into the one that was like more yellow in hue, the inside where the cut seam is pinkish. That cuts the one that's slightly bluer in hue, and the inside of that one is a very orangey kind of color. And they glow very faintly, and then they, very quickly begin to kind of fade. And some of them don't seem to start growing back as quickly as the others. The large ones start to recover much faster. And just kind of like, that one has... That's weird. It's got like it's not as spongy. It's got like a stringier kind of... licks this out. The texture, it's like overcooked chicken kind of. And almost flavored kind of like that, but on the back end it's a little spicy.
Does he still have the piece in his hand?
Yeah, just kind of been licking it, just kind of like tasting it instead of, because it still feels full.
I want to... Well, you can't tell whether or not it's good if you've eaten the whole thing. Eat the whole thing. And I prestidigitation, or not prestidigitation. Yeah, no.
Do you mage hand
I,
it? Just like
I
pop it into.
flavor. Well, no. I
Oh,
flavor it to taste a little bit better. To taste like a rich curry, like a nice has good umami to it. You know.
to the one that Penn has already been licking, or to one of the other ones
We
that Penn
taught him a
hasn't
new
The
licked
one that's
word.
yet?
already been
Now
licking.
he's gonna
The
use it.
Okay. Okay. Uh,
the one that he's already been licking. The one that he took a first bite of and was like not too sure about. At this point, he's my petri
Why?
dish. I don't. He brought this on himself. I don't know.
Eats it and belches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I really feel full.
We should probably stop eating the mushrooms then. Yeah, you're full. You were full after the first one, and now you're more.
Do you
full.
want to try one of these?
You know what? Cut a piece off, put it in your pocket, and I'll eat it later.
Cuts off a
The
couple
first
more
one,
little
not the stringy
pieces.
one.
The last one is like super soft. Like the other one had like a spongy, but think like calamari kind of spongy texture, like rubbery spongy. This is like sponge cake spongy.
Spongy.
I'm already not a fan
Yeah.
of mushrooms, dude. I can't.
Really?
Poor Stuart's
Yeah,
just like, oh.
I went to a Chinese buffet once in college, and there were stuffed mushrooms, but there were only like 6 in one of those big, like metal pans, you know, and they were just kind of floating in a liquid. And I was dared to eat one, so I did, and it was not a good experience.
You know,
It was like it just tasted like dirt, and then it was rubbery too, so it was like dirt from the sole of an old boot.
Oh,
a
that doesn't
friend
sound
of
good at all.
mine has a
Yeah.
very similar story in that, yeah, in that he ate mushrooms until a bad experience at a Chinese buffet and
Yeah.
has not eaten mushrooms since then.
And see, I'm so upset because like they're so nutritious. They're very dense, nutritionally speaking. A lot of you can get a
Mhm.
lot of stuff from mushrooms,
Hmm.
and I just maybe maybe they need to be prepared differently.
Probably.
You know?
I imagine if you had mushrooms that were prepared better, it'd be
Yeah, because the
probably
other
like
time I
it.
had
Just like
mushrooms.
Brussels sprouts, you know, you
Oh, I
don't necessarily
love
like
Brussels
Brussels sprouts
sprouts.
until you get them prepared the
Oh,
proper way.
little mini cabbages. You just
Swiss char.
pop them in there. Oh, yes. I'll tear apart some little Brussels sprouts. Put some bacon in there when you fry them up, and the little oil, some salt, and just pat. Just get sick on Brussels sprouts.
That was
Make 'em-
genuine enthusiasm.
Make a
I mean,
mix of maple syrup and melted butter, and just quickly like slap that right on top before you.
caramelization. You stop
Yeah.
that.
Oh.
You
Yeah.
stop that right now. Don't
You're gonna
stop
go-
making vegetables sexy. Don't make vegetables sexy.
Anyway, so Penn
And
takes
put some
the
mushrooms in
other
his pocket.
yeah, cuts a couple and then just kind of keeps some of the colors and or colored pieces and just kind of puts them in their pocket and now has, you know, an assortment of some of the just kind of walks back and is, you know, doesn't seem to be staggering, doesn't seem to be just like, oh, it's interesting. Takes the knife and just kind of like tosses it back to where it was, just kind of like lands in the
Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Well, the real giveaway, if there's like a problem associated with the mushrooms, is if regurgitation occurs.
True.
So what you're saying is that if Ben starts violently throwing up, we don't eat the rest of the mushrooms that he brought.
Well, either that or they're the really fun kind.
So throwing up, if he throws up too much, it's bad, but a little bit, it's okay.
Pretty much, yes.
Should we measure it when he throws up? Do you have a bucket?
No, just
A series
Eyeball
of
it.
jars.
go by gut feeling.
really by
By-
gut feeling
by
after
Penn's
throwing up.
gut?
Thank you. It took me a moment. I had to put that together.
That was a good one.
It's really hard to stomach that joke.
Oh.
I couldn't swallow it.
Anyway, so yeah, Penn comes back and is just like, well, I now feel really full. I only had 2 bites of food, but I now feel really full.
Heck yeah.
That's good to know. That's interesting.
Well, good. I was going to offer to share my rations, but since you're full, I guess I just hold on to these.
I
All
think
right,
these
so-
are rations.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of a question that I got here is that if we're seeing these mushrooms here with a knife and there's some indication that they may be used for eating, that makes me think that there's people down here in this tunnel, and it was
Ooh.
likely not that family that we saw, because I don't think that dad and his wife and his children would have been suited to try to move past those icky jelly things.
Hmm. Yeah, and I feel like they wouldn't have found these mushrooms because mushrooms have so many hermetic properties that he wouldn't have needed the medicine. He could have just come in here, eaten some mushrooms. His kid would have been fine. So we
I
did them a
I
favor.
don't.
Maybe we should take some mushrooms back for them instead.
I
Tell
mean,
them where
Bob
these
did
mushrooms
say
are.
that there were a couple things that would have worked, but I don't think that mushrooms were one of them.
But we haven't seen mushrooms like this before.
All right. So my point is, though, I think that there's people down here,
People other than us?
people other than us. That knife had to get here some way, and I don't think that the mushrooms dropped it themselves. Which
So
makes
what,
me think that we are probably, if not on the right track, we are on a track.
there
So
we
the
go.
question is, which of these
Runningham
doors do
West.
we go through?
The westmost door. The westmost door. And I picked the one that I was standing to guard.
Which actually, in the way that the map is laid out in my mind, is the westmost door.
Is the
Yeah.
westmost door.
Oh.
Pure luck.
All right.
All right. Sure, that sounds like a plan. I mean,
Well, the other one
kind
was
of
like
big.
a
I don't know how
small
they would have
crevice that
gotten
you
him
had to,
through
like,
this
squeeze
small of
through.
an opening anyway.
There we
Yeah.
go.
So let's
All
start
right.
with that one.
So
Did we leave a marker? Bob, did you leave a marker on the door, the place that we came through previously?
No, I'm just standing here next to it. If somebody has something to mark it with, that would be awesome. But I don't have any chalk on me.
I don't have any chalk, but maybe is there a way that we could use cloth?
I
If you've got a
have
piece of
ink.
cloth,
Sure, I can get us a piece of cloth. Why not?
Ooh. I have some ink. Here's an idea. And there's lichen on the wall over where Bob by
Lichen?
where Bob lichen.
lichen.
I lichen.
it's
Listen,
like a baby
It's been a
lich.
long. It's like a long evening.
Baby lich! Oh God, no!
So there's a little lich on the wall next to where Bob's been standing. Can I like? I want to pound the wall to make it white or to light it up, right? And I'm gonna draw like a triangle, or just I'm gonna draw a mark with some ink, and I'm gonna pound it again to make sure that when it lights up, you can still see the marker.
okay, I see what you're going for.
Like I'm trying to mark the wall, but I mean it's ink. You're not gonna see it in the dim light, the dark. So you have to like hit the wall to
We tap
make
the
Okay,
wall. And we
okay,
get-
that's
the
that's
lichen-
actually really clever.
Ah. Rinningham with a good idea. Sounds so surprised.
All right, so you go over and pound on the wall, and it creates a kind of
A canvas.
again.
on
A
which
couple
I
of
make my
tendrils
mark.
go a little bit further than the others, but for the most part, it creates an area. And what type of symbol do you make with your ink? What color is your ink?
The ink is a dark blue, like a navy,
Okay.
like an
It's an
indigo.
indigo.
In the navy.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna make yeah, like I said, like a triangle.
It's a triangle. Okay.
Yeah.
So you realize that using like a quill or anything else like that is going to be rather difficult. You just kind of have to take your pinky finger, just kind of like start tracing on there, pound the wall again, and
Yeah.
tracing on there, and just kind of takes you a couple seconds, but you're able to kind of get just a very simple, triangle, and you kind of have part of the arrow, I guess, pointing in the direction of the tunnel you guys came in.
Yeah, like where the open. So there's
Um,
like the opening, and then on the wall
Yep.
next to it, kind of pointing towards where the opening is.
Yep.
And then
And
you smack it, and you can see that it like lights up, but the ink blots out
Yeah.
where the triangle is.
You do notice that as the ink starts to dry, it's still there, but it fades. It's not as obvious, the triangle.
Hmm.
It's still, it doesn't disappear, but it's just one of those, like, it's just less obvious as it.
Yeah, you need to be looking for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is the whole idea, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, you already got to know to smack the wall, so like,
Yeah,
you're just going around smacking walls.
that's a real clever idea, Renningham.
Well, you know, every once in a while, every blue moon has its dog days.
That's a new one for me. All right, I'll be sure to remember that one.
And they all
I think you
howl.
come up with plenty of clever ideas.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Let's head
So
west.
anyway, let's head through that door.
Which is
'cause
west.
I don't know how they would get Chlor through this small of an opening. He's a big guy,
He is girthy.
even if he is kind of thin.
Wait, so he's like slim thick?
Yes,
Like a,
that one.
like a TikTok model.
Wait, like a model clock? Why? Why?
I just wanted to see Sam's face. I wanted to see what they would do. Onwards and westwards.
Onwards and westwards.
Oh, they're coughing.
You only make it about 10 feet down the hallway before your Renningham West path turns into a Renningham South pass.
Oh.
Okay.
And the hallway, for the first probably 60, 70 feet as you head further away from the mushroom area, is back to that same brightness you had in the tunnel that you have been leading up to. But as you continue down, the color of the lichen begins to change. It goes from the very faint green to a very faint yellow kind of color. And then as you
change.
continue on, the texture of the ground beneath you becomes more and more spongy. And by the time you're about 200 or so feet from the mushroom area, is that silty surface is beginning to get very thin, and the rest of this is now much more of that next layer. The color is darker, the material is just spongier, and you begin to smell and kind of taste a dampness in the air.
It's more humid.
Yeah, just a touch more. It's noticeable. The temperature hasn't changed a whole lot though. It's just a slightly thicker air.
Okay.
And as we're continuing, and those are things we notice. Lichen's getting a little more yellow tinge to it.
The other thing that is pretty noticeable is that each step you take, before where when you were walking along, it wasn't until you were within really close range to the mushrooms that the ground itself had enough glow to it. And Penn was the only one who really triggered that sort of effect. For you guys, it now seems it's starting to kind of follow with every couple of steps you take. And it just kind of pulses along, starts up the sides of the walls near you, and then kind of goes both directions.
Is it does it correspond to how hard you stomp?
Like Skechers?
Yeah. Like if I jump in the air, land on a foot, it makes like a
much more significant, just like kind of enough that even parts of the soil, like the soily substrate, also kind of glows faintly underneath you, and it just kind of goes across, and then after it hits the peak is really where it's almost like it's picture like a scanner in a hallway, like in a sci-fi type thing, where it just kind of like hits the top and then it just kind of like pulses the whole thing just like pulses down the hallway. So it's like creates up and then.
So I noticed that it's like kind of extending. It extends down the hallway or extends
down the hallway. So like, if this is
lights
the
up.
hallway, if this is the hallway and you guys are walking across the bottom, it creates the ring first, and then when it hits the top, that ring basically begins to pulse directionally down the length of the hallway.
Okay.
So I jump up and I say, "Hey guys, watch this!" I jump up with both feet and slam down on the ground.
Intentionally slam down on the
Intentionally
ground.
hard. Yeah. I want to see. I want to see how far I can see down this hallway.
Roll me
that
a
we're
perception
walking.
check.
Okay. That is a 14. 14. I was trying to see if I had any buffs. 14. 14. 1-4. Unquat.
Pen rolled one as well. So
Uno
you
quattro.
you jump and watch as it pulses down. And down probably a good 60 feet, very edge of where the pulse kind of dies off. You can still see the faint yellowy glow, but the pulse dies off. You see a shadow that wasn't there the last few times.
Oh.
And then a pulse comes
Comes
back. Comes back.
Oh. Oh. Hey guys, we should back up a little further. There's something down there who's sending a pulse back. We shouldn't go any further. We should stop right here. And I have my rapier out. This is not fun for me.
Renningham pulls out the rapier. Another pulse comes your direction.
Hate this.
Another pulse comes your direction.
I'm backing up. I'm following
and with
the pulses.
each pulse, you can see off in the distance as it's approaching. Now that you guys are watching, you can see the shadow is a few feet closer, a few feet closer, a few feet closer.
Hate this immediately.
And I need you all to roll initiative.
Oh yeah! Awesome.
Slippery little snake. Okay.
See, I was so hoping it would be like a mouse.
A friend. It's a friend, guys.
I can picture this in like a dark tunnel, and like as it's moving closer, the shadow, the void of what the light is getting closer. I hate you're tapping in. You're tapping into some
that's
stuff.
A 12, and I love the horrifying description.
That's an 11.
Thank you.
That's an 11. I have an 11, and I hate it.
All right.
Get some visceral
just
reactions from Renningham.
Second. Loop.
I need another drink. That's yo boy.
Sorry, it didn't actually. It's not triggering this correctly. Why didn't it trigger the encounter correctly? Come on, D&D Beyond.
Do I need to roll in D&D Beyond for you to track my...
I can add it manually. I was just trying to get it to...
I have 6 HP right now. I'm behind. I'm behind everybody at this point. I'm in the back of the line with my rapier already out, so no Don Doff rules.
All right, so what did you roll, Renningham?
It was an 11.
11.
Snake eyes. Yeah.
Bob, what did you roll?
I rolled an 8.
8. Theo, what did you roll?
That'd be a 12.
12, and then I have not run Ends initiative.
I'm panicking. Like I know that I'm not in this tunnel. Okay.
What is your initiative modifier, Bob?
My modifier is +2.
+2. Is okay. So.
Wait.
All right.
Is your initiative modifier your dexterity bonus?
You can get additions on top of your dexterity bonus.
Because my dexterity. So looking at, I said I rolled a 10. 10 was face value, but my initiative in D&D Beyond says +1, but my dexterity is +0. So I'm wondering where the +1 came from, because I always thought the dexterity bonus gave you the initiative bonus. Did my damage...
We can go and dig through and see where, if you took a feat or an ability or something like that later. We don't have to do that right now.
Yeah, not important.
I'm trusting that it's correct.
Okay.
And we're just gonna roll with it. So
I don't remember where that came from, but 11.
All right. So Pen, is first in initiative. This humanoid entity, as it continues to approach, you begin to see it's definitely not human. It's not elven. It's not orcish. Um, the surface of its body is irregular, and it appears to be coming at you in a full sprint.
I love this already.
I
And
don't.
Pen gets to go first, as it is now, by the time initiative is rolled, it's about 40 feet out, heading at you guys in a dead sprint.
Oh, the sprint. Oh, the speed.
Shia LaBeouf!
The shot.
Pen is going to quickly just kind of start taking a couple steps back and just starts blasting off magic missiles. So we're gonna roll magic missile. Let's see, that is 3. So we're gonna roll 1. Oh my gosh, okay, so that's a 5 damage on the first magic missile, 4 damage on the second magic missile,
Okay.
and 3 on the third magic missile.
That's fun.
So
solid
that is
12.
Yep, so 12 points of
Jeez.
damage at this thing. And you watch as each one hits its body, like you see steam and a glow, kind of ripple across its body, and this humanoid has fungal-like features.
Oh no!
And as the energy pulses over its body, you see it echo into the floor and around, and the previously yellow pulses are now a orangey red pulse, and then they return to yellow.
Okay.
And that is Pen's turn. Pen took 15 feet back, and then blasted off magic missile.
Ewy.
Theo, there is a fungal creature running full tilt in your direction.
It's fungal. It's a fungi.
Okay. All right. Theo is going to cast Hunter's Mark on the creature.
Okay.
The range on that is 90 feet, and then he's going to get his ooze damage shovel ready for a smack when it comes within range.
All right, so casting Hunter's Mark, and then you're readying an action for when it's in range.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hunter's Mark is a bonus action, so I can do that.
Yes. And then you're using your reaction to prepare your standard action.
Yep.
Cool. Renningham.
Go to sleep. I'm gonna cast sleep on this fungal growth.
That's exactly how he says it. He's just like,
Yeah,
go sleep, go sleep.
And I cast sleep. So that's 5. What is it? 5d8.
Okay.
Directly against its HP.
Yeah, so you have to basically meet or exceed its hit points. And if there's multiple creatures, you start with the lowest total hit points.
There's no such thing as a. Oh, here it is.
There's such thing as a D8.
I know. I'm a fool. I thought so. I have my D10, and I was like, I see an 8 on my D10. That must mean that it's a D8. But no, I have the D. I have the D8. So we're gonna roll 5 of these, and hope you kids at home have your math books handy, because I'm not adding these up as I go. So that's a 5. So 5 plus 4 is 9. So that's 2. 9 plus 8 is 17. That's 3 rolls. 17 plus 7 is 24.
24,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay, that's the third roll.
That was the
Fourth roll. See, told you. All right, one more. 6. So 30 is the sum total of my 5d8s. And does he go to sleep? I guess.
Doesn't stop moving.
Son of a bitch.
Fungal creatures don't sleep.
That uses that. And I am going to step back a ways. Still have my rapier out though, so.
All right, so how far back
Stay
you going
away.
from where you were? Because you were the frontmost in the party doing your jump and pull.
I wasn't. Was I the mm-hmm.
You were making a point of jumping and doing.
Yeah, I was making a point of jumping, but like at the front of the party. Once I saw the
It's
shadow
the
that
typical
I
movie
started moving
situation of
back,
guys,
you know
hey,
what I
look
mean?
at this. You jump in front just to show off what's
Gotcha,
going on.
Okay, yeah. So I immediately moved to the back of the party. I'm not like away from them, but I am behind all of them. Is where I'm at, and I'm just gonna chill there.
Okay, Bob.
Burn the spell slot. Love that for me.
Okay, so we've decided that this is a fungal creature, and he appears to be angry as he is charging towards us. And if he didn't start angry, he's angry now. Is that safe to assume?
That is safe to assume.
Huh. He's probably just mad because we were eating his cousin. Okay. That's a real shame. All right.
It's a real shame.
Well, I mean, it could have, gone a different way, but instead, I'm gonna have to saute him, so to speak. All right, I'm going to cast the spell Ice Knife.
Okay.
So let's hit the little cast button here. And come on, work with me, buddy. Come on. No, don't make me do it the hard way. You're gonna make me do it the hard way.
So you click cast, and that just counts as using the spell slot. If you click on the hit /DC where it says the +6, that will roll a
Thank you.
to hit. Yep.
Thank you.
And then that hits. Holy crap, that hits.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you click on the damage for damage.
All right, cool. See, it's formatting. That's what keeps throwing me off. Formatting. Bam.
Uno. All right, 1 point of damage.
Outstanding.
Every little bit counts.
1 to 0. Some people have been doing 0 damage. We're not going to name names. But.
All right, now while we move on, I'm going to have to read up on this because there is something extra about this spell, and I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. Seems like there's an area effect that comes into play. But we'll come back to that after.
On a hit or miss, the shard explodes. The target and each creature within 5 feet of it must make a dex save or take what appears to be an additional points of 2d6 cold damage.
Nice.
So it needs to make a dex save. What is the save DC on that?
We've all seen mushrooms. They don't move very fast. Not very
This
dexterous.
one is moving fast.
Not very dexterous organisms, fungal growths.
DC.
I like how my camera keeps like.
14.
Because there's a fungus creature in the background. You just can't see
Roll
it.
for damage.
Really? That's 2d6.
Yeah. Yeah,
36. That's a lot.
got a
wow. On a
total
miss
of a
as
12.
well. Jeez.
What was your spell save DC?
14.
That's not bad either. Gosh dang.
So that's 6 points.
6 points of icy damage. Cool.
I see what you
Pun
did
very
there.
much not intended.
Alright,
Do
chill.
you move at all, Bob? Do you stay kind of...
I hold my ground.
You hold your ground. All right, so
You buffoon.
just for clarity on order, we have Penn and Renningham are furthest back.
Heck yeah.
Um,
Runningham's a little bit behind Penn.
Bob and Theo, that checks out. Bob and Theo, are one of you behind the other, or are you guys kind of side by side in this 10-footish wide hallway?
You make the call.
I think Theo would probably be a little bit ahead. I mean, he's sturdy and solid, and he didn't. Earlier when that shower of sparks thing happened, Theo was quick enough on his feet to not take a bunch of fire to the face. So
Yeah,
he's
no.
gonna wait.
Checks out. Okay.
Escaped unsinged. The unburned. If anyone
Is that his first official title? Theo Bayless, the unburned.
Theo the Unburned. Ooh. What's that?
All right. So this creature in its running closes ground and beelines towards you, Theo, who's frontmost.
Mhm.
And as he basically is about to plow into you, you can trigger your attack.
All right. DM, that is a 17 to hit.
A 17 hits.
Okay. So, oh, my goodness, clear off. All right. We're gonna do this bludgeoning style. So Theo's gonna smack it with both hands, broadside, just.
Boink. Okay. Trying to.
That's a grand 1 for that, but I also have Hunter's Mark on it, so let me go over to here. Bringing up to a total of 6 bludgeoning damage as Theo just whacks it with the shovel.
Extra 1d6. Okay, because you rolled an additional 5.
Yes. Because I rolled a 1d6 for the Hunter's Mark that's on it.
Okay.
So it took a grand total of 6 damage.
All right. It when you smack it, its head kind of snaps in an unnatural fashion, and you can kind of see like a colored seam around the neck that kind of crackles back into place as it cracks its neck back, and just looks you dead on before with its what appears to be digits kind of like a morph slowly into a stump and just kind of wails on you.
Okay.
I need you first to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right. Okay.
And like as its neck broke, like the seam that
that was
tore,
so
there
close
was like
to a 19. That's a 5. It
like
rolled
an
over
echo
to a
of
3.
light across its body. Oh man.
Okay. As let me actually do the punch as well, because that's gonna make a bit of a difference. That is
The
a
fungal
19.
punch?
That is a 19 to hit.
That definitely hits. My AC's a 14.
Fungal
Okay.
punch.
Yeah, there's a bunch that's gonna kind of go on all at the same time here.
Oh, great! Good job.
You
That's
take
fun.
11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
That's too much. What you said there. That's too many numbers.
7 points of poison damage.
Oh, damn. All right. Okay.
And you are now tripping balls. Because as he clocks you, you are it's considered poisoned.
Condition is tripping balls.
Okay.
Is the
However, you are also considered incapacitated while you hallucinate.
Incapacitated.
The target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on a success. So you just got clocked out, and
literally.
Okay.
The walls around you are basically all you see right now. It's every direction you look. There's like a faint humanoid shadow every time you try to. You can't focus for shit.
Gotcha.
Like the ground underneath you looks like the ceiling, and if you look too hard, suddenly there's like minor vertigo as you're just like, oh, no.
And Theo makes a saving throw to escape this mental cloud after every turn.
At the
end of
each of its turn, the target can replay at the end of each of. So you're considered poisoned and incapacitated.
Until okay, I gotcha.
Until you successfully do it. So you basically whatever your limitations are for being both poisoned and incapacitated. So poisoned
disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks, and can't take actions or reactions.
So
hey,
you can just
distracted.
Can't take reactions. Oh.
So
I
you
can basically just sit here and
live your best. Just have fun.
You can
just
move.
Enjoy the ride.
You can move. It's just gonna be very interesting to try to make sense of where you're going right now.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Pen sees this happen,
Fire,
and
fire. Pen can make fire, please.
Is just like nope. And unfortunately, Pen cannot make fire. Pen can, however, try to cast Toll the Dead, so it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Fail, fail, fail.
It succeeds.
Classic.
Target's missing, blah, blah, blah. Target must succeed or take. There's no half damage on that. So,
No.
Pen is just taking more steps back. It's just like, nope, 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 nope. And you kind of can all hear, like, the very faint reminiscent noises of a gonging bell. But as the creature just kind of shakes its head, the bell just kind of stops. And Pen's eyes just kind of get wide as they're taking more and more steps back. Theo!
My bell has been rung. I'm hearing it.
So I see Theo like struggle. Well, I guess sorry. You do you first. Do your turn.
Oh yeah, no, Theo's definitely struggling. He's not gonna like moving might be kind of difficult for him right now. There's all that vertigo to deal with. He's not feeling too good. Also, he really got the wind taken out of him. Like he's feeling, practically to the point where he's about to pass out again. Like he's feeling kind of faint here. Ish. Kind of close to it. And so moving is not a thing that he really feels like doing. He's gonna kind of and he's just gonna stay there.
So, as my bonus action, which I didn't take my last turn, so technically I have one, right? Yes, are we fair?
We're in a new round. We're in a new round of initiative, so you have a bonus action again. It's if Theo's turns over, yours is next anyway.
I need to make my saving throw, so that's
before you
yes.
do, because I noticed you're acting a little not like Theo. Like Theo is very, I'm here, I'm going to save the day, and Brinningham says, Theo, wake up! I don't like this. Theo, please. And that's your bardic inspiration for the day. So you can add a nice little D6.
Okay.
Throw,
I'll let the DM rule on this, because technically
I would say, so you're using a bonus action as a reaction?
Well, it's not a reaction. It's like a bonus action.
Well,
like you get actions.
Yeah,
just
but
like as
typically
you're
your
going throughout
bonus
the day.
action happens
So it's a
on your
bonus.
turn is the issue.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But like it's a bonus, which means that it's like it's something you can use as a bonus.
Not how it works here.
So Renningham, on your character sheet, you have another thing you can use as well that is a very potentially useful bonus reaction that you can use to help your compatriots.
Ooh, but they don't have to roll that. What's his nuts doesn't have to roll that. Like keep them imposed every time, right?
It's
certainly. You're talking about silvery barbs? That's the only reaction thing that I have.
Yes. So that's every time something. When you see a creature, when a creature you can see succeeds on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you can pop that and basically force them to
re-roll.
Basically, have disadvantage. That's really what it is. Is you have momentary, instantaneous disadvantage.
But I thought that was whenever the creature. So whenever the creature succeeds.
Yes.
But I'm not gonna.
You can then choose a different creature you can see within range. The chosen creature has advantage, so you basically take theirs and pop it to someone else. So
right. But I didn't. Whenever that only.
So for next turn, next as things are
as a reaction. Yeah. I was gonna say I could have done that. I could have done that when the creature attacked had I known.
Originally,
I didn't know. We're doing time wise. Okay, I just thought bonus reaction. Bonus action.
But because of the
gonna push that envelope a little bit harder, but
because of the Stranger Things reference that is so particularly
I know, right?
in the moment, I'll allow it.
We don't.
But it's not gonna be a normal thing. I don't
want to break the rules. I don't want to break.
Rule of cool. Rule of cool. I'm trying to give you your moment, but also like you do have things that you could have used in the moment.
You're paying taxes on it, but you get the bonus.
Right. So I have a D6 for bardic inspiration that I can add to my con save then.
That is correct.
Okay.
What's the D6?
Right, Liam, that's a 15.
Okay, you are no longer poisoned and incapacitated. You snap.
Yes, that bardic
You
is
wake up.
stupid.
You snap back into it, and you're like, "What the heck is that?" And then you
Snap
now
back
can
to
focus in on
reality.
what's
Oh,
right there in front of you. Like,
goes gravity.
oh,
Yeah.
now
Thanks for that,
Oh,
Rinningham.
man.
I mighty well appreciate it. I only got one little problem. That thing really took the wind off my sails, rung my bell, and so on and so forth. I ain't feeling so good still.
Just don't let it hit you next time.
Oh,
Ren-
I'll work on that.
Renningham, it's your turn.
Oh boy. Um, I I'm gonna throw this dagger. I don't want to get close to this thing. I don't have any other ranged attacks. I'm just gonna throw my ooze damage dagger. I'm just like, ha, and
Just kind of okay.
yeah, just throw it at it.
Roll to attack. Roll to hit.
13 flat.
13
So
flat.
no,
That
I don't think I have a proficiency in thrown.
you get a +2 on your attacks for.
Oh, straight. So then a 15, I guess, straight out.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess
You're
finesse, light, thrown, range.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're fine with that. So, yeah, it's
15.
a
Yeah.
15. That hits. Roll for damage.
Okay. That's just a D4, right?
A D4 -1 because it's damage.
So 2. I rolled a 3.
Okay.
I rolled 3 again.
So you whip that dagger, and it just kind of like sinks in, and again you watch as the ripple just kind of like pops out. However, this time where it was yellow and then the walls were kind of a changing color, this time the wound itself is now kind of glowing as the dagger stays stuck.
Ooh.
And it just kind of glows and radiates a faint orange.
Hey,
Love
DM,
that.
talking is a free action. Now that Theo's feeling a little bit better, can he say something to the group?
We're still within the rounds of combat, so it's short phrases, short instructions, short information.
Go for the head. Its neck is weird.
All right, so that's a Renningham. Do you stay back there and just kind of? That's
Yeah,
That's what you do?
I swift.
you whiffed.
Yeah, I'm kind of gonna stay where I am. I'm not moving anywhere because
Okay.
there's still plenty of people in betwixt.
In betwixt.
That's a good word.
That's a
Bob,
good word.
it is your turn.
And because Bob's going to try and be a decent person, we're going to do a little cure wounds action on that Theo character over there.
Oh, take coming.
All right.
And let's roll some dice and see what happens.
Bless you,
roll some
Bob. You are a
dice.
kind and gentlemanly person.
There
All
we
right,
go.
Theo, you got 11 points of heals
Oh my
back.
gosh, that's just.
That was a good roll.
I'm about to say you
That
just
was
get
a
that
good
for
roll.
free. That's crazy. +4.
Because I'm awesome.
Yeah.
You are awesome. Bob is my favorite person right now.
Screw healing potions. We have a Bob.
I like Rinningham too. Both of you are my favorite people right now.
All right, Bob, do you have anything else? Any bonus actions or anything else you can do?
No, not really. No. I could step back a step or two. 'Cause-
You can wild shape as a bonus action if that's something you want to do.
yeah,
I
let's
don't know
do
if it's
that.
prevalent. Okay.
Yeah, just a couple steps back. Nothing major. Just enough to like dissuade me from being the primary target. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The sissy side here.
So Bob takes a couple steps back and then just takes a couple steps back.
And that's it.
That's it. Okay.
We've done some healing. We've done some stepping back. I think that's about all I can do right now, realistically.
Okay. Big bad mushroom dude.
Mushroom head.
Let's see. There are too many things that I can see.
Is this revenge for the white dragon?
No, I promise. This was planned. Okay, so every single one of you needs to make a charisma saving throw.
Heck yeah. Suck it, nerd. You're in my arena now. I
Ugh,
get advantage on charisma saving throws.
Oh, Shelby, nat one. Pen
that's
had
a
a
5.
Pen has a nat one.
Oh, I
Okay.
got a 17 plus 5. Should I roll again? Plus 7. Suck my toes. What is this? Yeah, 17 plus 7. What do you want from me? I saved.
I
I
rolled
don't
an
care
8.
what it is. I saved. 17 plus 7. Do the math. 24. I saved.
So you all hear this, however, to all but Renningham, the noise, well, to all but Renningham, it's a very like dissonant, echoey sensation. Renningham, you hear this much clearer in your head. It is a broken, it's not even really a voice. You can hear a tone or feel a tone of communication of anger and sorrow, and um the biggest sensation is frustration.
Everybody keeps eating my cousin. I'm telling you.
So
That's
it's
what
it's
it's all
frustration,
about.
anger, and sorrow. However, for you, Renningham, you're able to, you get some more flashes and pieces of information that imply regret. Um, and it seems to be tied to the actions that are being taken against the party. You get the sensation of regret, and you get the image in your head of the clocking of Theo, and there's regret and anger and frustration and sorrow all at once. Um,
From the attack action. It didn't want to do that. I can pick up from the notes.
Before it goes ahead and takes another swing at Theo, who's right in front of it. And what's your AC again, Theo? 14? It misses.
14.
Huh, it misses. Okay, so it just kind of... And you, in your coming back from being dazed self, are ready for another pummeling. And this fist smacks into the wall next to you, and you watch as the yellow pulses orange, and then a deeper blood red than you have ever seen, as it just kind of like and kind of echoes across.
Oh, it's
And then when the lichen returns to normal, the light is dimmer in that spot, distinctly dimmer, kind of in that band. Um, and that is its turn. Pen. Pen's
It's like
turn.
it's like a wounded animal that's just frustrated and angry at the world.
Pen is going to just magic missiles again because
Yeah.
they don't really know what else to do.
Why
So
not?
that's pop 3 of these bad boys off. So that's 2 points, 3 points, and 4 points. Look at that. 2, 3, 4. 7, 9 points of damage. My math. By my maths.
That tracks.
Yep.
Get that Midwest education.
And Theo, being right in front of this entity, you get the best view as more of these chunks of its body just kind of gets starting to burn, and the sections that are still glowing from before even are still letting off steam. And from more of them, some of the cracks similar to its neck, they're now showing up on different parts of its body as more and more steam is just kind of like seeping out. It's also strangely not reacting to the impacts themselves. It's just taking them. And Renningham, you get another sensation in your head of just an echoing of why. It's just the big question, why?
Not ours to do but wonder why, but it's ours to do or die.
Theo, batter up.
Yeah, batter up. Okay. All right. Batter up. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, since alarm doesn't do me any good and I still have 1 spell slot, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna mark this thing again. Concentration dropped last time since I got incapacitated. So I might
Yeah,
as
you
well
got
use it.
clocked pretty good.
I did. I did get clocked pretty good, and I would have failed the con save on that anyway. Theo's gonna take a deep breath. He's gonna say, "Look, it's nothing personal, pal. To be honest with you, it looks like it's down to you, my party, and me, and I'm awful sorry about this." He's gonna roll a hit, and that
Okay.
is a 12.
12 does not hit.
Oh, okay. All right. So now its AC is between 12 and 15. Information. And with that hit missing, Theo's just gonna he's gonna kind of just stay right there, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hmm.
Brinningham.
Yeah, so I sorry, my voice is kind of going. So I picked up on the like I kind of felt this remorse, this not happiness that this fungal creature is experiencing. So I'm gonna try to use my my limited telepathic ability to kind of communicate like a we don't want to fight, like we're sorry for whatever, we're not here to cause trouble idea towards it. Um,
You get an immediate pulse back of, and the sensation is no, 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 can't stop.
so then I'm also gonna like communicate like an I'm sorry, and I'm gonna like lunge forward with my rapier and try and like get it in the head, like aim for
Go
the
for
head,
it.
like
Go
this
for
sucks,
it.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Hit it.
Let me go back to my actions here to make sure I'm adding the right. That's a oof. That is an 11.
11 does not hit.
Yikers.
So as you lunge forward with your rapier, you kind of tap into like some of the protrusions. It's fungal protrusions, but nothing that seems to really catch, and
Yeah.
it seems to fall off almost painlessly as they just kind of like lops off, nothing of consequence. So you had to move. So you did a move action to run up and Kerstab. Okay.
Yeah. A little lunge action.
Bob.
Okay. Real quickly, I want to do a knowledge nature because something doesn't feel right about this creature. I'm trying to see if I can get some insight on the nature of this thing.
Yeah. Knowledge nature, get a nature. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I get it.
Oh wow, I don't know anything. I rolled a 7.
Yeah, it looks very fungal like. That's about it.
There's something weird about this thing.
But yeah, so I'll let you kind of do that as like a passive-y, bonus-y type. So like you can still do a standard action if you want. I'll allow it.
If in that knowledge nature, did I get the feeling that if I were to try to speak with animals, I would be able to speak to it?
I'm gonna say you have a hard time making a determination either way.
Gotcha. Hmm. 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 Ah. Who wants to call high or low?
Low.
All right, let's see if we roll a low. Oh, we did not. Okay, in that case, we're gonna take this Shimashar that I have, and I'm gonna swing at it. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
You're gonna swing swung? Go for it.
Swing swung. Let's see if we can whack it.
Scimitar. What did you say?
That's a 17 to hit.
That's a scimitar.
That's a hit. That is a hit.
Alrighty. Let's see what kind of slashing damage here we can do. That's 7 points.
That's not bad.
Where'd you get a scimitar? Brick, where did you get a hand grenade?
So you kind of walk up and make a definitive slice, and oh, did I lose you guys? Did something happen?
No, I'm here.
When I
Can you
cut
see
off
us?
an ear,
Oh, you Van Gogh'd him?
Oh
Well,
my
what's
Van
weird
got
is
him.
that I just got a Streamlabs alert that's basically implies that the stream has ended, but it's
oh,
not ended,
oh,
and I don't have any errors, so that was weird. Um,
Huh.
yeah, well, it's still recording, so at least that's still going for us, but it still thinks we're live, so anyway, we'll continue. So Bob kind of steps around Rittingham, especially because, Rittingham. And,
Okay.
does his slash with a scimitar. And the two of you get to see distinctly that as the slice kind of goes through, especially along towards where Rittingham's dagger is still kind of sitting in its flesh, um, his whole body pulses. His whole body pulses um, the reds that have been going on turn and shift towards more purple. Um, and the brightness on the edges of his body begin to dim.
aw.
And the reactions to the rest of the room around him are also dimming as you strike. His before you would pulse around the walls and seem to react according to what damage he was taking. That's
You're
happening
killing the
less.
room.
So that is Bob. However, it didn't take too kindly to what you did, and again, Renningham, you get another, sensation of just no, 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 as it takes a swing at Bob. That's an 18 to hit.
Which that
Um,
hits.
so as a reaction, I'm gonna use silvery barbs. I'm gonna cast silvery barbs and magically distract the triggering creature,
All right.
so it rolls with disadvantage.
It takes the lower of the rolls, which is still the 18.
It
Oh,
rolled it
jeez.
rolled 18 twice. Is what you're telling me.
Well, no, it rolled with its attack bonus. It rolled an 18 the first time. The second roll was a modified 20. So
I
it
hate
takes the lower
this.
of the two.
I'm
So
so
it's still
Okay.
disadvantaged. Um, Bob, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw,
which he has with advantage.
which he does have with advantage.
Please.
Okay, so the first one is a 9. Let's see if we can do better than that.
Roll better than
Okay.
that, please.
Let's roll better than that. Oh, that's better than that. That's an
Oh,
18.
that's a better.
Ah, that is a good better than that. So let's see.
Not a wasted spell slot.
I don't know if it matters so much because on the bludgeoning, Bob, you take 9 points of damage.
Oh.
That's too much. That's
And I
that's
go
too
down
high
like
of
a sack of rice.
That's too high of a number.
And Renningham, you get another sense of the regret, like the hate of self, like regret of self. Penn, from a distance, watches this happen and is just like, what is the other? Oh, look, we're gonna go for that. We're gonna go for, they're gonna go for a chill touch because Toll the Dead didn't play so nice last time. Chill touch. So let's do that. Loop. That is a 14 to hit, which does. And so deals, again, better than nothing. It is 3 points of chill touch damage against the creature. Is there anything else? If you hit an undead creature, it has blah blah blah. On a hit, it does the. Okay, cool. So that is Penn's turn. Theo, there is this. It is not looking good. Its whole body is like pulsing in the sickly red, fading into purple. Some sections of its body aren't glowing at all anymore, like it was before.
Yeah.
Was before.
Okay, we're gonna batter up. Theo's gonna use bludgeoning style on this sucker, aiming for center mass, like right where that dagger is, right where all the damage is. He's just gonna go for that sweet spot. That's his goal. Is just swing away.
Use the flat of your shovel to kind of hammer the dagger in.
I mean,
Oh, that's a nat 1. That's a 5.
that's
Your ooze damage shovel. Oh no.
that's
Okay,
not
the
gonna.
ooze damage only did something to the strength, and he took 2 ooze damage, so that just means that he has a flat roll on attack. That's it.
Oh
like on the
no. Oh no.
Yeah, he swings and he misses. Maybe he's distracted by Bob going down like a ton of bricks, and is just like, oh no.
I mean, this is the second time in 2 days that Bob's gone down like a ton of bricks, so
Yeah.
that so okay.
7 flashbacks his first occasion. All right, okay. Theo is not going to move, out of the attack range here. He's just going to kind of maybe angle himself around, so he's like body blocking Bob.
Currently, Renningham is the one closest to body blocking Bob, because Bob had to share a space to do his attack, and so, like, really went back to where he was before.
Okay, then maybe Theo will move the opposite direction to try to draw the creature's attention away from the other two. So he'll kind of like skirt around the other way to kind of be like, hey, I just took a swing at you. You're going to try to hit someone. You should try to hit me.
Okay. So you're going to dance around it without leaving its range so that you're not disengaging.
Exactly. So after the missed hit, Theo's just kind of like circle around and kind of like...
Cool.
Face it down.
Renningham.
Yeah, so I'm gonna again project like I don't want to do this either. Like I'm sorry that you're sorry. But I'm still gonna kill you. And so I'm gonna strike at it with my rapier.
You just get like a sense of acknowledgement. Like it's not a sad or happy, it just acknowledges. What'd you roll?
Who's in that one?
Here's the thing. The dice, much like my voice, are losing it's a losing battle.
Oh no.
What I rolled could potentially be a 3.
But it's not.
As we apply our modifiers. But at face value, I'm looking at a single digit here.
Okay.
And that's a 1.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a 1. That's a natural 1. Hate this.
We're at 2, guys. We're at 2.
Hate this dice. I feel like I have another block somewhere up here.
Renningham, do you want to do anything else? A bonus action or anything like that?
Yeah. I'm gonna I want to kind of in a words of inspiration to Theo and say, look, Theo, I can't really do Ren's voice.
Don't do the voice. Save your throat.
I tried to, and it's sometimes you miss. It doesn't matter how often you miss. It just happens. It just matters how many times you keep swinging.
I got it. I understand. Swing again, hit this time. Gotcha.
So Theo has some bardic inspiration.
Okay. You'll still be able to use a reaction later, if necessary.
Could potentially.
Yep.
That's a 1. That's a 1 from me.
All right. So you're now onto Bob's turn, and so I'm going to roll Bob's first.
I don't like that I wasn't punished. I'm
Say that again?
You didn't hit.
Right. I rolled a natural 1, and we're moving on.
It doesn't really mean that you don't. I mean, the punishment is that you missed.
Yeah. That's a bad punishment.
I didn't do a punishment. Like I really did think about using like a punishment deck and stuff like that for nat 1s, or if there's like certain situational things, like if you're firing arrows and you nat 1, it's like, okay, well, did you have an ally right behind them? Like there's gonna be now there's a cover chance of did you hit the ally? Like stupid things like that. In this case, like there's no real. You're again, it's with your rapier. You're tiny. You just watched your friend die. Yeah,
I agree.
It's way more conditional. Okay, so that is the first death roll. The Mushroom Man takes the bait and
Good.
tries to track
take it.
you.
So
Theo.
was that death roll a success or a failure?
I'm not
He's
telling.
not going to tell you.
Well, I can't track it if you don't tell me.
You're
I'm
not going
track.
to
Remember, I
forgot
track
about this.
these.
I forgot
I
about
track
this.
Remember,
these.
it's for the drama. He rolls our death saves, and he'll let
Oh,
us
I
know
forgot about this.
afterwards, like if you live or
Hey,
died.
I'm trying to talk him into revealing this information. Stop arguing on his behalf.
Not
I
gonna
can't
work.
help it.
Oh,
I'm
I
a
forgot we
lawyer.
thought
It's
about
what
this.
I
I forgot we
do.
talked about this.
I mean, I was going to say something like, my sheet says it. I have a tracker on here. I just want to use it. And now that argument's not even going to hold water.
I can't
Like
help it. I'm sorry. I'm an
I would love to
attorney.
come administer some medical aid, but I have a +0, and if I already rolled a natural one, if I roll another one, I could kill you.
You have already you rolled the ones out of your dice. You're safe.
All
There's
right,
only
DM.
one of them
Let's
in
take it the
there.
bait.
So that's a 7 to hit you as it, kind of jerkily, unnaturally moves and tries to swing with its other arm. And you notice that where the one had turned into like a more of like a bludgeony
Cudgel type thing.
thing.
Yeah.
This one, you can see where the fingers protrusions kind of start to do that, but they don't finish. In fact, it seems like they almost get stuck in like you can almost see like dry seams and as it swings in your direction but misses.
The claw.
And as it hits the wall
I'm
again,
scared of the claw.
you see more of it just kind of like turn bright and then just like fade darker. And so now you're in a section that is, where the rest of it was a dim light, this section is much darker. This just, 5-ish foot stretch of lichen appears to be not doing so hot.
Okay.
And that is all it can do this turn. Pen is going to chill touch again because that worked so well last time.
Pen just
That
likes
is
to touch these mushrooms.
17 to hit, which hits, and deals a whole point of damage.
Hey, it works. Every little bit helps.
Start carrying your weight.
Theo.
Yeah, I know. And I get Bardic Inspiration to add to this.
Yes,
That's
you
1d6 to add to the attack
You
roll.
got it.
You do. Do
we
it.
Can't all hit, but
Do it.
That doesn't mean you stop swinging.
Right, that's a 13 plus, but I think the 13 would probably hit anyway.
13 does hit, but
Plus another 1 for a 14 for a
we
guaranteed
go.
hit on this sucker.
Yep. You've hit it. Roll some
All
damage.
Theo's gonna stare it down. He's gonna be like, "Look,
We're both here.
that is a 10 plus a 1d6 from Hunter's Mark. It's 14 damage total, bludgeoning.
Rinningham, you get a whole wave of complicated emotions of joy, sadness, fear. Why is echoing as the shovel just kind of like sinks in, and you kind of can see more of the cracks, but as it does, the dagger kind of slides out on its own as the body just kind of like starts to dry a little bit unnaturally. It almost, looks like a shriveled up if you were like buy packaged like dried mushrooms. It just kind of begins to shrivel, and it kind of, instead of like falling to the ground, it just kind of like goes stiff and just kind of like leans against the wall. And as Theo pulls the shovel back out, the Y's kind of stop echoing. And you watch as the color of the lichen around it, that as it leans against the wall, changes back from like the dark. It kind of glows again, faintly purpley. You see little wisps of spore-like things just kind of like dance down its body, as it just kind of goes dark.
I feel bad about that one.
I retrieve my dagger, first of all.
We gotta get Bob some medical attention. He just went down.
I turn
He's
around
out
and say,
cold.
Bob, what are you doing? No laying down on the job. Get up.
Penn, you're a doctor. Can you do something about this?
It is, if we want to stick an initiative, Renningham, do you have anything you want to try to do? Can you do anything for Bob?
No, so in the role of initiative, I pick up my dagger and I look at the mushroom husk creature, um, and I kind of want to just push it over so that it falls into like the under layer, or like to fall back into the,
Okay.
you know what I'm
So
talking about, like the.
as you touch it, you can feel like what was definitely a solid entity now feels almost have you ever seen like an abandoned hornet's nest where it's like a very thin paper mache like
Oh
crunch?
yeah. Ugh.
And as you do, like it's solid enough that it does start to kind of, but it crunches underneath, and um, you kind of have like a tingling sensation on your hand. Um,
Ha.
it's not a painful or bad. It's just it's a weird, just tingly sensation, and it just kind of does fall over and just kind of crunches and falls, and
Yeah.
where what you would expected with something more fleshy would be to not kind of poof like it does, and it just kind of breaks into some pieces, and just like some of the
Yeah.
dust kind of settles across.
Okay.
Um, yeah,
Okay.
some more of the lichen on the walls. If the dust kind of plumes against it, like it turns purpley, and then slowly fades uh, to a dim yellow light.
Mm, okay. But I have my dagger back.
But you have your dagger back.
All right. Cool.
All right. We're gonna do Bob. Have one more roll.
We're out of initiative. We're out of initiative, though.
I mean,
That's
we're
we're
kind
no
of are,
longer.
but Penn is the next one who's going to be able to do something. So if that's the case, the way initiative would roll would give Bob one more time before Penn can try to do Penn things. What can Penn even really do?
Okay, so
Does
Bob. So
Pin
Bob
have
already
some sort of
rolled
like
though. Bob
medical
already
thing
rolled.
that
We're
they can use
fine.
to stabilize him? That would at least help.
I mean, Penn's kind of a doctor.
Yeah, exactly. Pin's a doctor, right?
Pharmacist.
So Penn is going to go up and just do like a base
Like lay on
medicine
hands.
check.
Yeah, like lay on hands, probably.
Actually, yeah,
Not if Pin is a paladin.
that's actually plenty successful.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a 19 total. Penn goes over there and like actually uh Bob, roll me a wisdom saving throw, Bob.
Bam.
It's the closest thing that I can think of that would fit in a prevalent
Oh
fashion.
my
Okay.
gosh.
Yeah, look at that. 22.
Nice.
Nice
So
as heck.
there's a weird sensation being on the edge of death
I'm getting
this
used
close to yeah.
to it, though.
But what's most distinct to you is the fact that like you're not entirely aware of your surroundings until all of a sudden you feel something kind of like cradling your consciousness. And then all of a sudden you're popped back into reality. And you kind of sort of come to for like a bit of like a TKO moment where you just kind of like snap to awareness before kind of falling asleep again. And you see Penn looking down at you with his hands kind of like cradling your head and neck. And you have just a very faint "oh no" moment as you've witnessed what can go very wrong when
We're
when
doing
Penn
this
makes
again.
when Penn makes adjustments, but
Uh-oh.
you definitely.
Oh no.
Oh, did my camera just decide to derp out? Oh yeah, look, we're back.
Well, looks
Okay.
fine from here.
But both.
Yep.
Is it just me? Okay,
Oh,
everyone
yep,
froze.
there
Are
we
we back?
go.
Are we okay? We're back. We're live.
There
we go.
We're okay. I don't know what happened here, but you guys all
Yeah.
like Stuart and Sam. You both froze for us. Jim and I were still able to talk and see each other move.
It was really funny because
See, everyone froze for me, and I was the only one able to move.
what was super cool is as soon as Zoom froze, I went to check stream and I could still hear audio through stream, so I heard the whole conversation, and then I
Oh, I
heard
did.
you in stream pause and be like, "Wait, what happened?" and then Zoom picked back up. So I missed that. That was
Oh,
crazy. That was crazy.
that's
Lucky.
trippy. Okay. So, Bob, you are stabilized.
Yay!
So that technically puts you at 1 hit point.
Yay!
We are out of combat. Can I end the combat? Why is it not letting me end the combat? It's hello, let me end the combat. Oh, whatever. I'll just close the encounter. Yeah, so Pen is kind of there cradling your head and just like, hey, it's okay. You know,
You're gonna be
kind of
okay, buddy.
gentle, like whispering nothing's like, it's fine, you're fine, I did it
You
right.
did
Like,
so
and
good.
you're the
Oh, it's
only one
okay.
who can hear this. Like, they're whispering to you, just like, I did it right this time. It's fine. You're fine. As you are in fact stabilized. So that's a whole hit point. Um, and you're just kind of like slowly come back to consciousness.
Yeah,
Um,
great.
Renningham, can you roll me a wisdom saving throw?
I can, and I have advantage on those. Wisdom. 13 on that one with advantage. And then, so we're going to go with a 13.
Okay. You can still hear kind of echoing in your head
Oh, no.
the why 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 why. It's faint, but every so often it just kind of like pops in, and it's it's not your own sensation as it just
Yeah,
kind of
I have a very astute sense
pops
of
in.
consciousness thoughts versus intruding thoughts. I kind of just drop to my knees, and I'm like, I just kind of like scoop, I kind of scoop and let the crumbliness from the mushroom creature or the fungal creature kind of fall through the fingers, and I'm just like, we didn't want to. You attacked us. I'm sorry. It was self defense. We didn't want to fight.
You don't really get a response, and the dust and remains in your hand do continue to have like a tingling sensation. Again, it's not painful when it leaves your hands. Like, there's no burns. It's just a very distinct sensation. It's
Since,
different
yeah,
than when
like
you were
pins
touching
and
the
needles.
lichen. Yeah, it was different than when you were touching the lichen, or even when you touched a little bit of the dirt before. It's just a
Yeah.
um, and so, what do you guys decide to do as we wrap up this particular evening?
Oh, well, let's see. What I plan on doing is
Sleeping.
very selfishly casting a cure wounds spell upon myself.
Okay.
It's like a plan.
And that is going to be for 12 points.
Okay. You watch, or Pen just kind of like, hey, you hungry?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. There's something
Oh.
creepy about those mushroom bits.
Pen just takes another one out of their pocket and just kind of like takes a bite.
All right.
So where are we going? Should we go back and take a rest, or I have burned all but one of my spells, so I should probably
Yes,
take a rest. Plus, we've been traveling like all day.
rest is in order. Someplace
Yeah.
away from this lichen and
How about we go
fungus.
back to the mushroom room?
The mushroom?
The
I want to go. I
mushroom.
want to go even farther back. I want to go so far back to be a past and put the mushroom room behind us.
The mushroom room.
The roomy
I
of
mean,
mush.
there was the hallway with all the dust that kind of led into the mushroom room. We could put up camp there, maybe.
Oh, I'd be okay with even going further back than that.
Look, what would be the point of backtracking the whole way if we're gonna just keep pressing
Well, I
on?
mean, It's just there's just something wrong about this whole area. I don't know what it is, but there's just something wrong about it.
Well, I don't think we have much room to navigate through here, so I think it's safe to say that we can head back
We don't have mushroom.
and
All
spend
right,
some
so here's
time.
my thinking here, though, right? We know that no one was coming from back the other way that we came into the mushroom room, although we do know where that entrance is. Then we got that other entrance that I found that was like maybe what, like 18 inches or so. That's kind of slim. People would have to squeeze to get through it, which really only leaves this little tunnel that we got to really keep an eye on. So maybe if we go put up camp in that room against the far wall, we have people take turns keeping watch. We can get a good night's rest while all staying safe.
Can do that.
And I can get more snacks.
And Penn can get more snacks.
They really are
Pen-
filling. Like, I feel pretty good after that last one.
I wonder if our friend here ever ate these mushrooms.
Yeah, let's do that.
DM, I think that we're gonna go back to the mushroom and set up camp.
Okay. With that, you all get you guys are gonna take watch.
Yes.
But it's quiet. It's almost an eerie, uncomfortable quiet. Can I get the order of the watch? I
Cleo's
assume
feeling
Bob is
pretty
going to just
perky.
rest because he was, dead for a minute.
He
Theo's
was,
feeling pretty
he was
perky.
feeling pretty
Okay.
perky, so he'll take first watch.
Renningham, are you gonna take a watch?
Probably not.
Okay.
I could do last watch.
All right, and Penn will take the middle watch.
Okay, so are we doing
Let the little kid sleep.
Are we doing 6 hour shifts or 4 hour shifts, or how are we do? How many? If I can get 8 hours to continuous, that would be awesome. So 4 hour shifts.
Sure. I
Yeah,
mean,
that'll
Okay,
work.
cool.
the long rest in 5e, it's a little bit more fluid than like Pathfinder's, distinct rules on how much of it has to be like truly restful, and also
Oh,
taking
okay.
watch counts as restful time, assuming that your interruptions are less than a certain period of time.
Okay.
So um, so you'd be able to, even if do a shorter stint, if you were to do 3 hour watches, you'd still get enough rest if you were one of them. If that
Okay, that'll work.
follows. Okay. All right. So you guys kind of find yourself a way to tuck against the wall. Um, you kind of notice again how the way the lichen just kind of folds and stuff like that against the walls, and it's just a distinct shape in the room, and how really it is hard to tell unless you knew where those entrances were. Like, you would have a hard time seeing them without accidentally stumbling into them. The night watch goes fairly quietly. The only real thing is you notice every so often, like, something kind of like small creature similar to those little sized lizards, something like scuttling across, and you see like little echoes of the footsteps it's taking along the lichen as it just kind of like ripples across. Sometimes even the top just pulses on its own and just kind of like brightens the room just a hair for a couple of seconds. And when we come back next time, Renningham is going to have some interesting dreams. But you also all level up. So, uh,
Yay!
we will roll for hit points at
Oh.
the beginning of the next session. Hopefully, Shelby can join us.
Yay!
And depending on when it is, whether it's next week or a freaking month from now, because that's just how, life happens. Maybe, just maybe, Dave will be with us, or I'll just let him know to update his character between now and then. So,
Updude!
outside of all that, thank you guys so much for
Thank you,
playing. Thank you
DM. That
guys
was
so much
super
for
fun.
watching. And I hope that we get to play again real soon. I do plan on finishing editing the episodes and stuff, because really what happened is there was the one that had the bad stream. It just went awry, and I just never got around to editing and fixing and cleaning up the file. So fingers crossed, I can get that done relatively soon, and then I can get the rest of the episodes all out in short order so that people can catch up on things and stuff. Other than that, I will see you guys next time we play D&D, and you guys probably Friday for some Dwarf Fortress. Yeah.
Cool.
Yay!
So,
Thank you,
Awesome.
DM. That was super fun.
yeah.
Good work.
I was really hoping we'd get this far just because it was ready for some interesting experiences for you guys. So
No,
anyway,
you were just looking forward to killing off another character. I get it. I get it.
hey, look, shit happens, all right? On that note, good night, ladies and gents.